All right.
Oh, what up?
Good evening and welcome to the stream. We're your hosts, Lynn, Ray.
Family
Um,
out there. I was drinking my tea. Tea
yeah,
is pretty good. Pretty
Thursday
good.
night. How's everyone doing tonight?
Thursday night. Gonna get ready. Man, I really like this shirt. This shirt feels like it's like a sweater, but
Mhm.
it's like like a dressy shirt. And I'm really digging it, man. I found it in my closet. I didn't even know I bought it. I was like, yo, just rocking it.
Okay.
So what up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Our after the election discussion, the fallout
Mhm.
of the election. It didn't go as some people thought it would. I guess some people thought, hey, it went the way they wanted. It's crazy, man. So, what up, Fuzz? Welcome back. Thank you for rocking with us. Yeah, so it was
I
funny
mean,
because, hmm?
well, I mean, let's pull it up.
Mm-hmm. What is up? Pull it up. Pull
All
it
right, so
up.
we'll pull up the same way we had it the other night.
Yep.
Similar layouts. All right, here we are. All right, so the Senate results, as you can see, we'll dive deeper in a moment, but as you can see, we went with mostly on the red side, it's 48-46.
But it looks like it's not going to be, it's still up in the air. I think Georgia has a runoff that they have to figure out as far as uh, who's going to win that one.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't like this massive red wave like you thought it was gonna be.
Right. I mean, we are leaning heavy on the red side, which each of the
Wait
levels
till you look at wait till you go into the go on the top, go on the house. That was the one you were just in, right? The house.
Mhm.
Look at how massively red the United States is overall.
Right.
So the house is per with the Senate you have 2 senators per state, right? So that's why there's 100 senators.
Mhm.
Whereas the House it's per population, right? And so this is crazy that this is how red the United States is, yet it's still being driven by extreme blue.
Mhm.
And like when you look in the map and you see the extreme blue, you only see like what Cali, New York, really like really up in the Northeast, right? And then like that's it. That's what's really driving our society right now. This is crazy.
Go back to Senate and same. Now, why are these say no election? What
Yeah,
is
they had no election, so those seats are up in 2024.
okay, gotcha.
So they sat this one out for this go around.
Hmm. Oh, a lot of states did.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm like this is clear. Like, all right, that the state, but these are some of those states that you pulled up are swing states, so they could go either red or blue. But it's
Mm-hmm.
just crazy how the majority is predominantly red, where most people want conservative values, which is like, most people are not on board with all these crazy things that you see in the media and in the news. It's they just like, hey, I want to be left alone. I don't want the government all up in my stuff, just leave me alone. And I really don't care about all this woke ideology, right? And it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy that you see this clearly with the breakdown, and yet the party that's winning is the woke establishment. And I don't understand it. I really don't.
That is crazy. But you know what? They do say the few are the ones who lead the many. It's not like well, it's not fair.
It is. And honestly, when I look at politics right now, politics is the new religion, to be honest with you, Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
Like we as a society, we moved forward where we removed God from our lives, right? We removed that whole spirituality that we had in our lives. And with removing that, we took away everything that came with that, right? Look at the our laws and our our constitution and everything that America stems from. That's stemmed from religion, like the Ten Commandments, right? Thou shalt not kill and all that shit. So you look at that and you realize the further we go away from like religion, the more we become, just what's the word I'm looking for? Just like do whatever the hell we want, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yet, in a weird way, we do have a sense like we do need. Now remember the saying I always told you when you were young, either be a leader or a follower.
Mm-hmm.
Most people tend to be followers. It's just the nature of the beast. Most people tend to follow. And if they're not following religion, then what's the new thing they're going to follow? It's politics. This is why we see such craziness on the left side. It's a cult. A lot of people say it's a cult, but I feel like the Democrats, which is funny because they have Democrats and it's like demon in their name. They are the new religion, and people are following it to a T.
Okay.
This is why like Biden came out this week after the election. He was like, "I'm not changing anything." He's like, "I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm running in 2024."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "This is crazy. This is crazy because gas prices keep going up, right? Inflation somewhat came down, but it's still high. Prices are high. We're sending money to Ukraine for no freaking reason instead of helping our own. It's like, when are things going to change?"
It's an excellent question. Well, I haven't been following it. I actually didn't even look back on the results since our last show. But that comparison right there, when you say, like politics has become the new religion, I do see
It
that.
is.
I'm not, one who's following politics or anything. I do see that. And there has been a shift to where everybody and their mother is talking about politics. And it's not even like they're having
Mm-hmm.
discussions. They're just kind of like spitting out more of the same like buzzwords that you hear all over
They
social
are.
media. And they're extreme about it. They don't want to hear the other side. They don't want to have those logical
They don't.
conversations. They just want to say what they already read.
Because
And
they can't. They can't. At that point, it's been so like what's the word I'm looking for? It's been elevated to a point where they can't even argue it. Maybe they don't have a tangible, thought in their mind to be able to argue it, but it's gotten to the point where it's just like it has to be this or nothing at all, because that's what the religion is, right? So
Mhm.
that's what they're being told. They're being told, this is how it is, and there's nothing else. And it's like we're losing free thinkers. That's the sad part about it. We're losing free thinkers.
Fuzz, I blame the party leadership. Too many pro-abortion people came out and ruined the landslide.
Yeah, well, that's apparently that it was a large young voter turnout, and that's why they came out. They came out for pro-abortion rights.
Mhm.
So, which once again, I don't. To me, it's just a false virtue to stand on, because I'm clear as day. I say it over and over again. If abortion never existed, people will adapt and overcome.
Mhm.
Right? Like if today was outlawed and can't do it, people will adapt and overcome. It's like, I don't understand why this is a soapbox that people want to get up on board and really stand by it. Like, I don't understand it. Plus, these are the same people that during COVID, right? They'll stand and say, "My body, my choice." But during COVID, they were like, "Nope, come on, you got to take the jab. You got to take the jab." So I don't understand it. I don't understand it. So
All right.
what?
So what's
What?
the 19th Amendment? What?
19th Amendment is the right for women to vote. More
Oh,
masks,
gotcha.
more
Okay.
crimes, more taxes. So I'm gonna let you go on this one first, Lynn. So what do you feel about the 19th Amendment?
All right. So I really don't know. You just said the 19th Amendment is the right for women to vote.
Yep.
I don't know. What are you asking me about it?
Oh, it's a
Like,
comment. It was
do
brought
I
up.
think women should be allowed to vote? Why? I don't know. I don't think that should be in there, period. I think that everyone should just be allowed to vote.
You think everyone should be allowed to vote?
Yeah, I think everyone should be allowed to vote. Why not?
You think everyone should be allowed to vote? See,
That's
once
what I just
again,
said twice. Go ahead.
once
Fact
again,
check
because
me.
I'm asking you to see if you want to think about that before, because you're going with emotions, And once again, we got to have a logic conversation because society is not run by emotions. As we can see, emotions is what's destroying society.
Mm-hmm.
So we're having a logical conversation. I'm asking you, do you really believe that everyone deserves to vote?
Do I think that everyone deserves a say? Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that because, I think I could argue for either side, but I definitely don't think that it's a sex thing. I think that if we're going to be saying like, oh, someone has the right to vote and someone doesn't, it should be based on, their like what they're like if you want to have a say, like what are you doing? What's your part in society?
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what I'm getting at. And this is why I pushed you further. Because
Mhm.
once again, when you hear something extreme like that, where it's like, oh, we must end the 19th Amendment, because I've heard it before. I've heard it before. And this is why I'm diving into it. And it's so extreme, right? It's like, oh, how dare you take women's rights away to vote? And then you
Mhm.
say, well, everybody should deserve to vote. And that's where I'm like, we are at one extreme or the other. And it's like, we need to start having these conversations. We need to start being logical. And what you came up to, your conclusion was maybe they should have skin in the game before they are allowed to vote,
Mhm.
right? And so my argument is we shouldn't make it a sex thing. It shouldn't be men, women. Don't take don't appeal it. Maybe we should amend it and say everybody has the right to vote as long as they're paying taxes,
Mhm.
as long as they have some sort of skin in the game. So now I'm
Right.
not blindly voting for a party who is making empty promises or is trying to buy your vote or is trying to say, hey, you should, there's not empty manipulation, because we gotta address the elephant in the room. There are people who are voting who are not doing their homework. They're just
Mhm.
voting because they have the freedom to vote, but they don't know what they're voting for.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
And
that that's the majority of voters. They don't know what the hell
it
they're voting
is.
for.
It is. And when you have the media, misconstruing the message and it's only leaning for one side, and this is what they're taking, they're not really doing their research, they're not doing their homework. I hate to say it, ignorance is gonna rule the day. And we
Mhm.
see it. We see it clear as day. We see a guy who we know should not be in office, and he's running this country to the ground. The same thing happened with so Fetterman won, right, in PA. And
Yeah.
I told you he had a stroke. He's barely having a hard time talking, and he won. He's going to the Senate that way. A man
Mhm.
who should take time and heal from this uh, life injury. I don't know how to call it. I don't know what you would call a stroke, but
It's a life
he
event.
yeah, life event, and he should take time and heal. He's going to the Senate. He's now a senator, and he can't even speak. He can't even comprehend what's going on. His brain's not functioning correctly.
Mhm.
And they voted him. He's a senator now. Now, granted, I didn't really like the other guy either, but I'm just puzzled by that. And that's why I had to ask you, like, do you really believe everybody deserves to vote? Because
Right.
I know a couple of people where you're like, no, I don't think you should be voting.
Mhm.
I don't think you should be voting.
19th Amendment is hurting the natural law, and there's an unbalance in our society. Um, and I
I
think
agree
that's
with
kind of
that.
where
Yes.
that unbalance is. I don't think it's a matter of um, who the individual identifies as. I think it's more so like their mindset and where um, you know, they are as far as even thinking about this stuff.
Mhm. And I agree with that. I was watching a show the other day, and the guy came out and he said, on terms with this, he said the 19th Amendment is one of the things that, and the women's suffrage and the feminism and all that is one of the things that really ruined the society. And it's not because of what you think. When you say things like that, you sound like a monster. I know I'm going to sound like a sexist just for saying, how dare you take women's rights away and you want to treat them less than a man. But it's like, no, it's that we forgot as a society a woman's purpose.
Mhm.
And once again, when you say a woman's purpose, her gift from God is to produce life. Like, to understand that she was capable of making life and taking care of that life, having that nurturing spirit inside of her, we've walked away from that. And we gave this burden, right, that was supposed to be on men, right, to develop society and everything else. We gave that burden to women, and now they're being confused. And there's a lot of women out there that are on antidepressant, right?
Mhm.
They're single, they're alone, they don't understand why they're sad, they don't understand why. And one of the most beautiful joys in life is having a kid, right? And a lot of women are not going to have that. That's one of the most sad things about reality is that women are there's going to be women out there that are not going to understand that joy because they were lied to by society. And so now
Mhm.
the natural order of things are flipping. Women are becoming like men, and men are becoming like women, and that's not in your biological programming. Like you're
Right.
going against nature, you're going against your genetic makeup, you're going against your hormones, you're going against just the way you were programmed. So does it stem from this? Can we go back? No, we can't. I'm not going to sit here and say we should take away women's rights. No. What I am going to say is that every voter should be educated and should
Mhm.
understand what they're voting for, and not
Absolutely.
be voting with their mind instead of voting with feels. I can't even
Yeah.
say with their heart because it's not even they're being manipulated by their feelings.
Right. And then it always comes back to like if you don't know what you stand for, you're gonna fall for anything. And
Mm-hmm.
with us being in a society where our politicians are allowed to use propaganda, they're allowed to run these ads, they're
Yes.
allowed to, manipulate you and convince
Mm-hmm.
you to vote a certain way. I think that you're absolutely right. And that, when voters go to the poll, they need to be educated and they should be able to receive that kind of education without the propaganda.
Right. Right. And going back to Bez's comment, as far as like the 19th Amendment, there is a movement out here where women are trying to go back to being women.
Hmm.
There are women out here saying, I don't want to work. I don't want to be in the workforce. I want to be a home care, I want to be taking care of my home. I want to find somebody that I could build something with. I want to have kids. I want to do this. I want to be a homemaker. I want to do all that stuff. And there is a movement against all of this whole feminist narrative. And I
Hmm.
applaud them. But you know what? They're also getting shitted on by, the agenda. Like it is almost frowned upon now because of the agenda. It's frowned upon when you say, "Oh, I'm happy. I want to be a mother." They're like, "What's
Hmm.
wrong with you?" You know? But yeah, I am shocked. I'm like, shit. I'm gonna. You know what? I should announce that I'm running because I'm like, damn. If Featherman can win, I know I'm gonna have a good chance. So I don't know what I'm running for. I don't know what state I'm running in, but I'm like, I should announce it. Like, yo, I'm gonna do it.
You joke, but honestly, where are the people who are stepping up? And that's an issue too. Like the people who are stepping up, who are trying to be in these positions, they're career
They're getting.
politicians, and they're doing it simply because that's their next career move. Versus
Mhm.
people who are stepping up with that leadership mentality, that leadership drive of wanting to bring about change and the wanting
Yes.
to see our society become a community driven society again.
Yes, and those people are getting squashed by the establishment. Those are
Hmm.
the ones you see the ad campaigns going against them. You're the one you see where the money is because all these
Hmm.
politicians are backed by established money, right? DeSantis won like by a landslide in Florida, but he also has a shit ton of money backing him up,
Hmm.
right? They're not gonna go, the saying is if you want change, be the change, right? And so I'm like, well, shit, I should be the change, but you know what? I'm not gonna get that funding,
Right.
right? That's why Trump. That's why, and this is why I freaking love Trump because he was an outsider. He didn't need that money. He had that money,
Hmm.
and so he came as an outside thinker. And sure, you know what? He messed up along the way. There was a lot of things he messed up on, but the fact that he had that money and he could have went out there and said, "This is why people hate him," because he said what he thought. He said what he wanted to say. He wasn't going to play, all this PC BS and all that stuff. He was like, this. I'm going to say it how I'm going to say it, and this is why he resonated with so many people, is because he was real. He was authentic. He wasn't playing by all this censorship and all this stuff. But
Right.
unfortunately, after 2016, things got a lot worse. And then not all of us are like Trump that can afford, our freedom. And that's the thing. That's how we get censored is the fact that um, we're afraid of getting fired or we're afraid of losing our if you're on YouTube here you're afraid of losing advertisers, right?
Hmm.
You're scared of losing your source of income, and
Yeah.
that's how they keep you in line. That's how they keep you shackled.
The game plans pretend to be a Democrat, but flip sides once you become president.
Yeah, that's a possibility too. That's a possibility too. But then you got to talk that game, man. You got to talk that game, and then also, you know, if you flip sides, you're not going to get reelected. You know,
Hmm.
so whatever you like, look at Trump. He did all the stuff in 4 years, and right as soon as the first year Biden came in, he undid everything he did.
Hmm.
Not only did he undid everything he did, and it's on record that he undid all that stuff. Then he goes around and is like, "Oh, we have this problem now, and oh, it's Trump's fault." It's like with the immigration, with the wall, right? Trump was like, "I'm
Hmm.
gonna build a wall. We have an immigration problem." They stopped. They said, "We're not gonna do it," and now, you know, immigration is coming in, you know, by a landslide. And then he's like, "Oh, it's Trump's fault."
The office
The
job is like
office,
a religion called professionalism.
yeah,
Oh, you know what?
professionalism is strong.
That's right on the money with a video. Oh, let's see if I can pull it up. Let us see. So I received the video over the weekend. I keep saying the weekend. So my kids were off from school, and in my mind, that's a weekend. Anytime they have no school, it's the weekend.
It's the weekend to you. That's
Hmm.
hilarious.
They laugh at me too. They're like, "What are you talking about?"
It's not the
I'm like, you
weekend.
know what I'm talking about.
Mm-mm-mm.
Oof, I cannot play the video.
What is that?
It's Sizzling Brown's trending because the video is now private.
Yes.
Zam. Yep.
Damn, that sucks. Yeah, so I honestly do believe. I mean, I can't change my optimism, and I know I sound like I'm not optimistic, but every freaking day I'm optimistic. Like today, earlier today, I went for a walk. I had my AirPods in, and I was just walking. And I don't know, man. If you're feeling a certain type of way, just go for a walk with your like favorite music, and just actually just say hello to people. Just smile at them.
Yeah.
And then when you finally get that smile back, oh my God, that's like that elevates you on another level.
Nah, man. You know what? I've cut back on smiling at people. Like I used to just be the kind of person that like, you know, when you randomly make eye contact with people, like it's
Hmm.
natural. There's other people walking on this planet with you. Hello. And like, so I typically smile at them. And so the one day I'm at the mall, I smile at this dude, go about my day. I come back out and there's like a note taped to my car window. And he's like, oh man, I don't know if you're feeling what I'm feeling, but I think you did because you smiled at me. And like he left me his phone number. I was just like, oh my God, just stop connecting with
You
people.
can't. But you
Stop.
know what? But you know what? We laugh, but there's a problem there, and that's exactly what we need to address. Like we've gotten so disconnected with human connection that when somebody smiles at somebody, we think, "Oh my God, there's got to be something else."
Yeah.
It's like that's exactly what I'm trying to get at. And like I was out here walking through town, and like you know, some people give you that fake smile, but when you generally get a smile from the person, whether
Hmm.
you see the whole like facial expression of like I am like you just it's just like a spark of that positivity that you know being on that higher vibration, and the fact that you could just give it to them and then they boom, it's like yo, it just it's infection. I'm gonna start doing that more. I'm gonna start walking, even if I'm just like walking for hours, just waiting to get that because it's just I don't know, man. It recharges the soul, and you know it does say you know that we are. It's crazy that I'm actually saying this right now because I'm a lone wolf, right? I'm okay being alone, but most people do need social interaction, right? Most people need that bond with society. It's why people go wild. It's why people do all this stuff. It's why people were going crazy during COVID, right? With the lockdowns, right? Because like, oh my God, I need people in my life.
Right.
And Kofifi was the worst because it was like you couldn't be around friends, you couldn't be around family, and
Oh, shit.
yeah, yeah, and it's like it's sad because we just lost that whole like just smiling at people. It's like,
Right.
hey, how's it going? Like I guarantee you go and you do that in the city, people are gonna look at you all weird.
Hmm.
That's like the best place to
Absolutely.
do it. That's why I'm like, I would walk 3 hours in the city until somebody would generally give it back. And I'm like, oh, I found somebody. Because it's so like it's rare. Like you're like they're gonna be looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, what's wrong with this guy? right? But it's like, what do you want? What else you want? You want to be that negative person in society that thinks nobody's like that, or you rather be on the flip side where you think everybody's positive, everybody's happy,
Mhm.
especially when things all around you is falling apart. It's like if I can't change it, I might as well be the one that's like, yeah, everything's okay.
Oh, so all right, we're gonna go into Lynn's love life because it always gets interesting.
Oh
So
my goodness.
I'm thinking the other day that my ex is looking more and more appealing. Like I may just go knock on that door and see what's going on because I was at the club the other day with my girlfriends. They were like, they
But
dragged me out.
didn't he break up with you?
Yes, he did break up with me, but don't worry about that. I can get him back.
But I told you this. I told you this.
Minor details, okay? So I'm at the club or whatever, and some dude, like I'm standing there waiting to get the bartender's attention. And some dude, you can already tell he was way too drunk. His ass needed to go home. He's like, oh, what's your name? So whatever. I tell him my name. He tells me his name. And then he's
Mhm.
just starting to have a casual conversation. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to talk to you. So I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm not really looking to have a conversation with you. He can't hear me. So I end up saying, I don't want to talk to you. And then I felt really rude. I felt like, oh man, like I'm being an asshole, you know? So it's so hard, man. It's so hard to like turn somebody down without being rude. And I felt like I needed to share that
Why didn't you just walk away?
because I was waiting for the bartender. I wasn't going to leave where I
Oh, gotcha,
was. I
gotcha,
was
gotcha,
waiting for that interaction. I just didn't want him in my face. Like, you
gotcha.
know what? I was trying to be nice when I told him my name. Like, should I have not told him my name? I don't know, but I don't know.
It's
It's the numbers.
so go back to Fuzz's comment because I gotta agree with him. He's like, if I got a, he said, this one right here. So he's like, if I got a letter like that, I'd be so happy. Me too, Fuzz. Me too, man. I'd be ecstatic. Not that I would call it back, but it would make my day because
Mm-hmm.
men don't normally get stuff like that. And that's the thing. It's like it's a burden to Lynn because she gets it in abundance, right? Whereas for us, it'd be amazing because we live in a world of scarcity where we don't get attention like that.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, I'm still out here saying like, man, a smile, man, it's I'm just out here happy. I was living in my tunes. I was feeling, connected with just nature and everything. Because that's why I go for a walk, right? It's a change of seasons. I do believe that there's a higher being out there. I have my conversations with my maker, right? And I just walk around. And to me, life right now is like tons of symbolism, right? Like just a squirrel running around to me, I'm like, oh, that's symbolism for me. So I'm already elevated there, right? I'm listening to my music and I'm elevated. And then when I get to that moment of where I'm like, man, I feel so like and abundantly blessed, I'm like, I gotta share this. Like I gotta
Yeah.
share this. Like, how do I live in a world like this where everybody's hurting, crying, and all this? And I'm like, it's my duty to share this, right? Share this blessing, share this miracle. So that's why I'm just like, yo, I just want to smile with people. And some people are just like, right? And some people are like, or somebody gives you the fake smile. And it's like, come on, you couldn't make another attempt. But then once I get that, like, even if the person got like no teeth, man, it's just being happy like that. I'm like, yes, like you get it. Life is great, you know.
Yeah.
It was funny too because I was walking in long town and I kept seeing the same guy. And I don't know if it was like because we were all zigzagging. So like as I was going through streets and stuff, he was going the other direction. But I kept seeing him. And
Mm-hmm.
finally, like we crossed, and like I just hit him with the sun. He hit me back, and I was like, "Yo, yeah." He's on that same wavelength, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I don't know. And with the fact like going back to your scenario where you were talking to the guy and you didn't want to be rude, and good thing on you, you weren't being rude. But the fact that he stayed around and like I don't want you to feel bad for him or anything like that, but it's because we live in a world where it's scarcity for him. It's
Right.
scarcity for a guy to talk to a girl and for her to be nice to him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know you feel a certain type of way because you're like, oh, maybe I should not give him my name and all that. But good on you for being nice. But he couldn't get the social cues because he doesn't get that on the regular. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? Like if he was talking to women and women were actually nice like they used to be, maybe
Mm-hmm.
he could understand the social cues when you weren't interested. Most men don't pick up on that. Most men do not see that. because they don't get a chance to develop that skill set. You know,
This is a sad truth in our society. Actually,
it really
I
is.
experienced it more than once. Where
Yes,
yeah, guys
yes.
just don't
Like
pick it up. They don't pick
they
it up.
don't pick up the social cues because they don't have time to develop that.
Mm-hmm.
Because once again, they're not out here like Fuzz, and I 100% agree. We're not getting letters saying, "Hey, I saw a connection."
Right. You know what's messed up about that story is that there was another guy, and I was really hoping it was that dude. But when I saw the note and I read it, I knew exactly who it was. And he just gave me vibes of like one of my exes. So he
Oh shit.
automatically, I was just like, yo, like, why? Why are these kind of guys that are like, oh, let me shoot my shot with Lynn? Like, what?
So are you feeling a certain type of way because it's cuffing season? It's like we're going into the holidays and you just don't want to be alone.
I don't know. Maybe. I definitely think that that has to do with it. Something to do with it. I think that I've just been thinking a lot about it, and I really don't want to do the whole like I don't want to go back on a dating app, and I
I
really
don't
don't want
either.
to do the whole trying to get to know somebody. So it's like, damn, like your ex kind of starts looking pretty good when you're at this point.
Like for real. Like I don't even want to go out there because it's like, like you know how like we talk and we're like, listen, you got to go through all the turds before you can find the right one.
Right.
I just don't want to go through all the turds. Like, who wants to swim around in the sewage? I don't want to do that. I don't. And I'm like, the more and more I elevate myself, and I'm starting to develop, my standards and all that. I'm like, none of y'all cutting it. Like,
Hmm.
modern women are not cutting it. So I guess I'm gonna be alone, and I'm okay with that because I am not gonna put myself, especially as I keep elevating myself, I'm not gonna put myself to somebody who doesn't want to elevate themselves. And
Right.
then sadly, women think that the only way to elevate is by having a really good job or my career and all that crap. It's like, no, you got to elevate yourself as an individual. Like, how do you act in society? Like, how do you treat other people around you?
That's
Right?
so important. So
It
important.
really is. It really is. Like especially like, how do you treat the people who serve you?
Hmm.
Like you treat them like, I'm better than them. It's like I can't. That's why I'm okay just going out, doing my own thing, having a good time.
Fuzz, I would never get back to an ex. Oof. I don't know. It's that red tape, like probably a bad idea, but maybe. The kind of people, not the kind of people, but the people I think about when you say how do you treat the people who serve you. I think about when you're in the supermarket
Hmm.
and there are the people like stocking the shelves and you have to grab something and like they're like in your area. It's always like awkward. Like, what do I say to them? Just like a quick hi, how's it going? Do I say excuse me? Like what's the etiquette there? So like recently I was in the grocery store and I had to grab a couple things. So I kind of like stood back for a moment. I like looked, saw what it was I was gonna grab. And then once I was ready to grab my items, then I approached. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna reach around you here. Thank you. And like I like grabbed everything I needed to grab. But even that I felt was awkward. I feel like it's becoming more and more awkward to interact with people in the world.
That's so crazy because you've always been that social butterfly. And you're just like now you're becoming introverted as I'm becoming extroverted. Like
I don't
it's so
know.
weird.
And you know what? It's not that I'm not interacting and I'm not, still being that social butterfly, but it's starting to like kind of
I think
I'm starting to question it in my mind. Like, am I
I
interacting with this
I
person in like
the
the right
reason, and I
way?
think honestly, if I could summarize it and just be analytical right now, is because
Mhm.
right now we see things in two different perspectives. It's like I'm still believing the more and more I get this awakening inside of me and just start being drawn to the beauty that is the world.
Mhm.
I'm seeing the beauty in everybody now. Whereas you, right, you've been so social all your life, and now as the world becomes more negative, I think you're starting to see more of the negative in people. So that's why
Mhm.
you're turning off into talking to them.
Hmm.
If I can summarize it,
Hmm. I do know from my yoga class. So I started a new like yoga practice, and one of the discussions we had was about our aura and how like the movements we were
yes,
making was to kind of like strengthen our
your
aura.
energy. Yep. Yep.
And so the one girl, she was like, well, you know how when somebody comes and they just like completely change your entire mood. And we started talking about, the exchange
Mm-hmm.
of energy. And so our teacher taught us, she's like, actually, we believe that we're, taking people's energy, but we're not. All we're doing is changing our energy to match theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And even, when you're in a really good place and, you know how that's contagious and someone else gets excited too. And like your interaction, when you
Mm-hmm.
smile at the dude and it just like kind of lit you up, you're not actually giving away any of your energy. You're not
It was
losing
just
energy by doing that.
reciprocated. It was just reciprocated. So me being in a good place, he gave me like affirmation that I was
Mhm,
in a good place, you know? So that's what elevated me even more to be more happy.
mhm.
So I'm telling you, like me personally, and I'm gonna be straight, candid, and honest, is like my whole life I always dealt with low self esteem. Lynn has always had high self esteem. She could go out there talk with anybody, whatever, and all that.
Mhm.
So for me to actually be able to go like I'm seeing the evolution in myself to be able to go out and actually like smile at people, start talking, making small chat. Small chat is the worst for me. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh my god, why are we doing this? I don't understand it, but I'm doing it now. Like I'm joking with people. I'm
Mhm.
like even at the dentist. I went to the dentist today, and I was joking, with the what's the name of the lady that cleans your
The
teeth?
hygienist, the dental
Yes, the
hygienist.
hygienist. I was joking with her. I even was joking to the bill lady because she came
Mhm.
over and they were like, "All right, here's the bill lady and all that." And I was like, "Oh, so you're the bad guy around here, huh?" And she started laughing. She's like, "No, no, no." And so like we started, just making short conversations and jokes
Mhm.
and stuff like that. Like I'm not used to doing that,
Mhm.
but I don't know. It's just more and more that my aura, like you said, we are saying your aura and your energy. I'm just elevating that to the
Yeah.
point where like it's really hard to get me into a lower you know lower energy.
Lower vibration.
Yeah, yeah, that makes any sense.
Hmm.
So,
It's
so
good.
I
That means
think
your energy is becoming stronger.
yes, and
Yeah,
so I
and
think for
honestly, our
you,
energy, it's like a force field and it protects us. And um you actually have like a natural like your aura is naturally a certain size. And you
mhm,
can work on growing that. So it sounds like that's what you're tapping into and you are making it stronger and you're growing it and that's how you are able to kind of like reach out and match other people's energies now too.
mhm. And when you say like you share your energy, I know it's an easy, simplistic way of saying you're giving off your energy, but the
Mhm.
reality is like when you like for example, I've been out to the club before, and by myself, and I'm out here, I'm having a good time. I have a couple of drinks in me, I'm enjoying the music, I'm elevating myself, and I
Mhm.
could see people, and I could almost see their insecurities. Like they almost want to let go, but they're like, what is my friends gonna think? What's the rest of the people here gonna think? And this is why people are shy to dance, right? And then when they see you, and like almost like you're almost saying like it's okay, let go, it's okay. And then
Mhm.
finally when they do let go, like you're like, oh shit, I didn't know they could do this, right? So
Mhm.
that's why when I go out, I tend to be like a hype man to kind of get people out of that, out of their that comfort zone, right? And so that's where it is. It's once again, you're right. The person's elevating their energy, but it's almost like they need your okay, or you're giving them the okay to say, go ahead, elevate yourself.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
so for
cool.
women,
It's cool seeing all that.
there's like this whole thing within like the whole woman's culture that's out here. And so I experienced it the other day when I was with my girlfriend. Same instance, like they took me out. And my one girlfriend, she's a dancer. Period. She's
Mm-hmm.
a dancer. Like we could be at the dentist's office, the right song comes on.
She got ass and shaking everywhere.
Everywhere, and you know what, she moves around a lot, it catches people's attention. So she started up, and after she was dancing for a while, I looked around and a lot more people were loosening up, they were doing their thing. So at one point she's like, oh, like check out that chick over there kind of thing. She's like, she felt the need to like show up since like I was doing my thing. And then I told her just that. I was like, no, I was like, you gave her the okay. And now she's over there loving it and like feeling herself
Mm-hmm.
and dancing to her heart's
Exactly.
desire because you gave her the okay. I was like, you
Yeah,
started
you started that, right? Your
that. Yes,
energy, and most people don't understand that. Like your
right.
energy gave her that. And I see it all the time. Like, I'll be loud. I'm like, hey, hey, hey. And everyone's like, yo, what is this guy doing? But when they see like, yo, he's doing it, I kind of want to do it. And then you start it. And then once
Yeah.
somebody else goes, that's it, hands down. Everybody's doing it. Everybody else is doing it. And I've been in groups like that where it's crazy to say that I'm the most outgoing one in the group
Hmm.
when I know I have like low self-esteem and I'm an introvert. And I'm like, how's this even happening? And it's just that whole evolution of just enjoying life and understanding that no matter what happens, at the end of the day, the only one who could really judge me is myself and my maker. That's it. So when I
Hmm.
go out here, I'm like, yo, whatever. I don't care. Like, I don't even know you. Why am I so insecure about you when I don't even know you? And this is how
Right.
most people are. It's like they
Right.
don't. They're like, they're out in the club. They're supposed to have a good time, and they're still like being, um, I don't know how to say it. They're not present in the moment, and they're just being, very insecure with everything that's going on. When it's like you came out here to have a good time.
Hmm.
So you're right. Like your friend sent the signals, and I'm glad you were able to pick that up and let her know because she
Yeah.
was like, "Look at her, she's trying to outdo me," being
Yeah.
negative. But it's like, no, she was following your positive energy, so keep it positive. So I'm
Hmm.
hoping did her energy change? Did your friend's energy change?
It absolutely did, and she kept dancing and she kept enjoying her time. We had a great
Okay,
time.
good, good,
Yeah.
good, good, good. But I'm glad you were able to catch that though.
Hmm.
So that's exactly what I'm talking about here. That's why I'm like, yo, I'm feeling like I just want to walk everywhere and just smile at people and get because it's so infectious when it's like, yeah, all right, right on, let's go. Oh man.
Especially, I think now after Kofifi, where everyone's kind of in a insecure place. We haven't
Mm-hmm.
been out and about and coming together and being in big groups. So people go out now and they're kind of hesitant. They're like, I don't
They
really know what
are.
to expect. So for you to be out there and just like giving off that energy and like kind of like giving
Mm-hmm.
everyone else the okay to, be happy, that's an amazing thing right there.
And it's crazy because like even though I've been like I think the second like I saw one or two masks started disappearing, I just stopped, right? And I was out there and I was living my life like it was still 2019, right? And I think this might have been like early 2021, right? But I still haven't been like really out and about like I used to because you're right, that energy is still not there yet. So I'm
Hmm.
thinking now, I feel like now people are starting to get more confidence. I'm gonna start hitting it up again because I miss that, man. I miss just going out constantly and just getting that energy
Hmm.
because we are social creatures. But like, I don't really need like whole social circle and all that stuff. I'm like, all right, I just go out here, boom. I feel like my ideal dream would just be like a vagabond where I just go like town to town to town and just do
Hmm.
that. Like just go to the next town and like, all right, next weekend I'm in this town and I'm get popping up some drinks and I had a nice dinner. I'm going out and then go to the next town and just keep going. That'd be awesome.
Well, it sounds like you're getting closer to that with the whole van life.
Yeah, I know. I think I might cop my van next year. I think I'm gonna do it. Because I
Hmm.
also think that, society's going to be in a decline here soon. So I'm like, I got to get something to help, hopefully get out of these blue areas.
Oh my God.
That's another reason why I plan on like, my intent, my plan within the next 5 years is to be in Florida, somewhere red.
Hmm.
Because I don't know, I don't agree with the ideology that's around here anymore.
So I think that's pretty interesting because for me, it is what it is because I live in New York. So I tend to have a mindset of like, oh, well, if it's like this here, it must be like this everywhere. Like, this is just how it is to
But
live in
it
these.
it isn't because if you go back to that map, pull up that map, pull up the map that we had earlier, the house map where the majority was all red. All right, so see if you can zoom in. Zoom in on New York. Look at that. Look at
Yeah,
how red New York is.
that's crazy.
That's crazy. So when you say that everybody around you kind of has the same mindset, that's the
Mhm.
mindset everybody around you has when living in
Mhm.
upstate New York. This is why you don't like going to the city, right? Like
Right.
you've been avoiding the city because the city is super blue.
Huh.
So mind you, everybody around you thinks the same way, but yet New York turns blue, and then they have blue policies that's governing you and your thought,
Mhm.
right? So this is why New York has freaking high taxes, right? This is why New York has, all the stuff that you clearly don't agree with, and everybody around you does not agree with. That's the reason why the Republicans were able to take back the House because of
Mhm.
states like that going red.
Mhm.
But yet the overall state is still blue because I don't know why. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. There are certain pockets that are going crazy and corrupt. So New York City turns it blue, even though New York City has high crime rates, high gas prices, high all this stuff that nobody in their right mind agrees with.
Mhm.
Like, do you really?
Something else I realized is when you do start having conversations with people, you start realizing that they um have similar beliefs as you do. Like they're
Yeah.
having the same like thought processes as you.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so when we have like this mentality of, oh, well, everyone around me must think that way, it's just what I'm interacting with as far as like the media. It's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing online. It's the information I'm getting online.
It is. It is. And when you start, if you start, I know you haven't done it, but if you broke out and let's say you just started joining like certain different groups and started talking and stuff like that, you would see
Mhm.
that a lot of people are in the middle of the road. They're not as extreme as what's being governed right now or how, our society is being governed right now.
Mhm.
Like a lot of people, most people really do not care about abortion. They're not having an abortion. They're not putting themselves in a situation where they need an abortion. They don't really care. You know what they care about? The high gas price that it keeps going up. It
Right.
doesn't seem like it's coming down anytime soon. That's what they care about. The fact that they go to their supermarket and they see, empty shelves and, what they bought last week for $100, they can only get half of that this week because it's now, double the price.
Mhm.
That's what most people care about. But yet, when you look at the news and you look at the extreme side of things, right? It seems like the people who are governing us keeps moving further, 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 further to the left, and then everybody else keeps getting dragged, because the scale keeps moving. They keep dragging towards the right.
Mhm.
That's why New York went red. Do you think most people are drastic in New York talking about MAGA and Trump and all this stuff? No,
No.
no. It's that it's so far skewed that now you're making them to go right.
Mhm.
If that makes any sense, my explanation of it.
No, it
So
absolutely
first,
does.
first said I would split New York into three parts.
Yeah. What three parts? I'm thinking New York City.
Yeah, I always thought New York City and then the rest of New York.
Right.
Because
I mean, I guess
that's the
there's
way I looked
Western
at
New
it.
York,
Oh,
and then
Buffalo. I'm
there's
guessing Buffalo.
maybe
Because can pull the map
or
back
Rhode
up. So
Island or
Buffalo.
Long Island. I think Long Island,
No,
Rhode
Staten
Island,
Island. Staten isn't it Staten
Staten
Island? I
Island,
thought it was.
the island. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. The
But pull
island,
it,
I guess, do
pull
their
the
own
map
thing.
back up. Let's pull the map back up because I think that all went red. Pull up the can we zoom in more?
Let's see.
Forgive my bad eyeballs. I'm getting old, and I'm also trying to look at this on a freaking tiny little iPhone.
All right, so this is New York City.
Okay, so that's part of New Jersey. You just
This is
clicked
the
on New
island right
Jersey.
here.
So that's the island. That's all red.
All right, so that's one. Then there's the city,
Okay.
two,
Then
and
we
then there's
go
New York
all of
City.
upstate New York, right? And then where's the next blue part? No, even Buffalo went red, right?
Yeah.
Albany's blue. Albany is blue.
No, Buffalo's blue.
Buffalo's blue.
Rochester's blue.
So it's really all these major cities that are falling apart that is driving us to be a blue society. So at some point, when do all right? So pull up the whole overall map again. Pull the overall map again. because this is me, and this is my logical sense. So pull the whole map again, the whole like the whole United States land. Yeah, okay. So it looks like to me that it's most major cities that went blue, and that's what's controlling and governing the rest of America, right?
Mhm.
So at some part, when like think about you know like the human body. If there's something in my body that's making me do something like that, the rest of the body is saying, "Hey, we got to fight this and go against." Wouldn't at some point wouldn't that get that cut out? Isn't that what like cancer is?
Oh my God.
So can't we just start saying like these blue cities are cancerous to the rest of the United States?
I mean, the states are already starting to do their own things. Like, look at just with the daytime savings alone. I think
Mm-hmm.
Arizona, uh,
Uh-oh, Lynn. I think I lost you. Am I still connected? Check over here. Uh, am I still connected? Are we live? Are we live? Fuzz, can you still hear us? All right, I'm still live. So I'm not sure what happened to Lynn. We'll see if she gets back. Oh yeah, the ticker's still ticking. All right. Lynn video is bad. Ray video. Okay, thanks, Fuzz. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah. So I guess what Lynn was saying was like we starting to see states starting to take back power, which that's really what our forefathers wanted with the United States overall was that we should operate at the state level as opposed to having such a massive federal government. And hopefully, the more you know society goes red, the more we try to drive back to that. So we'll see. I'm waiting to see if Lynn's gonna jump back in, so I'm gonna give her a few. I'm gonna drink my tea here.
Whoa. My laptop just died on me.
Okay, good thing you have your backup, your phone. All right, so it just won't have no more pretty pictures.
Ooh.
So I was stalling for time, and I was just saying that you were saying that most of the states are starting to fight back, and the fact that they're going against what the U.S. federally is doing. Like you said, Arizona with daylight savings time, and
Mm-hmm. So they're starting to kind of break off and do their own things.
yes, and honestly, that's what the United States were supposed to be. We were supposed to have a limited federal government, and at the state level, the states, understanding what their constituents and their people want, that's where we were supposed to be. But,
Mm.
the federal government blew up and now it's oversized and it's too bloated. And you're right. Like I 100% say like the federal government needs to be cut down. And we should be at the state level. It's crazy that the president has so much power when the governor should be the one that has, that power over their state.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. And hopefully maybe that's what, we'll start seeing that.
Mm-hmm. It could be what
Because
we're
that's
moving
crazy.
towards.
Yeah, that's crazy because if you listen to the news and you hear like how the Democrats have the House, the Senate, the presidency, they have all three branches, you would think that the United States would be massively blue. And then when you
Mm-hmm.
look at that map, you're like, holy shit, the United States is massively red. And yet we're just blindly following while the blue just goes crazy.
Yeah.
Does all this stuff. It's crazy.
Definitely having that visual element, it adds power to the argument because when you see it, it is kind of
Mm-hmm.
mind-boggling. Like, wait a minute,
It is.
how is this possible?
Right, right. So like you thought you were in a deep blue section, and you thought, man, like the Ray's waking me up to these ideas, and I kind of agree, but
Yeah.
I'm the only one around here. And then when you see the map, you're like, oh shit, I should start talking to more people about this.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. All right. All right, so we're at the top of the hour, Lynn. Do you want to introduce the show? I know you can't do the commercial again, but just for anybody who might be tuning in to the
Yeah, so
read
everyone
intro.
tuning in, thank you so much for doing so. And welcome to our channel, Sibling Rivalry. I'm Lynn. This is
I'm
Ray.
Ray.
Shit, he's over here now.
Yeah,
That way.
you're over here now. No, you're over here now. Yeah, it's backwards. You're over here now. You're deciding.
Yeah, so through our channel, we just aim to be givers of love, good vibes, and strength through conversation. We go live Tuesdays and Thursday evenings at 6 p.m. And we just talk about, trending topics and anything that you're interested in talking about. So always feel free to join in, comment below. No topic is like taboo.
Then you should turn your phone landscape. I just noticed that. It's like you got it the long way.
Hang on.
Oh, I shouldn't have said anything. Oh, there she is. I shouldn't have said anything. I lost her. She's all in the swing over here. How do you zoom in? I want to zoom in.
Well, I switched. I went from my phone back to my laptop. I restarted it, and
Oh, you're back now. Okay.
yeah.
Until it had to do updates or something.
Who knows? I don't know what happened. It was making some crazy sound. I was like, "Oh man, the aliens tapped in. That's it."
Oh, it's the NSA. They're hearing what we're talking about. They're coming to get us. No free thinking. How dare you free think? How dare you call out some obvious things that we're trying to keep under the radar? Anywho's.
Oh shit! I never plugged in my laptop.
Oh, so it's like dying from battery? Oh, I think we're gonna lose you again. We can hear you, but we can't see you. Damn, you need to upgrade your shit. Oh man. Well, then, if you can hear me, I'm gonna throw out a question. I'm gonna ask you. Going into the weekend, tomorrow's a holiday. What do you have planned?
So I'm supposed to be heading
topics.
to Salsa con Fuego tonight. Salsa con Fuego. I'm supposed to be going. I guess it's in the Bronx. So I'm headed to the Bronx after the show, guys.
Oh shit!
You want to catch me there?
Fun.
I don't know. I don't have plans for the weekend. I guess I'm gonna be babysitting on Sunday. I'm gonna have like my girlfriend's kids over.
So do you have the kids tomorrow though?
Well, there's no school tomorrow.
Right.
But I have my older children. I don't have my little guy. So my days look very different when I have my older children versus having my under 10-year-old, you know?
Are you planning to go see Wakanda Forever?
No.
The sequel to Black Panther without the Black Panther?
Plan on that. However, my girlfriend did just see the movie with, I guess, The Rock. Was it that she said?
Black Adam?
You seeing the movie right now? And she said it was pretty good. She wants us to take the kids. So
I would vouch for that one. If you have the option to say, hey, going to see Black Panther or Wakanda Forever or Black Adam, I would go see Black Adam. I think you would have fun with that one more. Plus, Wakanda Forever is like almost 3 hours.
Holy crap.
That's way too long. That's crazy. I want to throw the question out to Fuzz. Fuzz, have you seen Wakanda Forever yet? Are you planning on seeing Avatar 2?
Oh, hell yeah. There's an Avatar coming out?
Yeah, there's a new Avatar coming out. You haven't seen the trailer for it?
Seeing that. I'm definitely seeing it. In the theaters.
Oh, he did see it. Oh, he found a good. Oh, okay. That word. Say less. I'll do that then. I might do that tomorrow. Then I'll find a good copy and watch it that way. I'm not giving Disney my money. Yeah, there's a new Avatar. You should pull up the trailer. You haven't seen it?
I'm not pulling up the trailer. That's an awful idea. Because then our video is gonna get blocked.
Yeah, you know what? I just appealed it. I was like, "Yo, it's fair use. Just don't play the music. It's fair use." So I put the argument in. I was like, "Yo." Fuzz said it was watchable. There's a lot of things that are watchable. They watched She-Hulk for half the season.
Talking about watchable, you want to know what I spent my entire day yesterday doing?
What's that?
Watching the show Dark. I watched the entire season.
You actually watched it on Netflix.
All right. So originally I started watching it and I was like, what the hell is this shit? I was confused as hell. All right. There was just a lot of sound effects. I was like, this is whack as hell. Why am I watching this? But a few, episodes in, I was hooked. I was like, shit, I can't stop watching it. What is going
I was
on?
gonna remind you to start watching Black Mirrors,
I
but
started watching
they're
Black
both on
Mirror.
Netflix. They're both on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah, I started watching Black Mirror too. So here's the thing. I usually add things to my watch list and I just watch
Okay.
trailers and then I don't actually
Right.
watch anything. So I was trying to watch trailers and these shows didn't have trailers. So I started Black Mirror
Hmm.
and I saw the first episode and I was like, "Oh shit, like it's actually pretty interesting. It's a different kind of
That's the
uh
one where there was like a some kind of politician and had to do something with a pig.
no. Black Mirror?
Yeah.
No, Black Mirror is the one about the dude who's like his friend gets him the VR headset.
Oh, so you started with you started with like season 5.
Oh, is that what I did?
Yeah. So you have to go back to the first season. So it's like
Well, so I
season
only saw
1.
the first episode. And then I had a friend come over and I was like, "Hey, do you want to watch something?" And then we started Dark because they didn't start Black Mirror with me. So I was like, "Well, I'm not going to jump back into Black Mirror."
Well, no, Black. So the thing with Black Mirror is every episode is a standalone episode.
Really?
Yeah. So that episode you saw, it start and credits in. That's it. The next
That's it.
episode will not touch that. Yeah.
Holy crap. Okay.
So you can go back and just each hour is its self-contained story.
Good.
That's why I like Black Mirrors, because you can go to every single. You can bounce around. You don't have to follow it in sequence. You can go season. Like you can watch episode 3 of season 1 and then jump to like episode 4 of season 5 or whatever, and then just the ones you like.
Okay.
But I think each season is really short. I think it's only like 4 or 5 episodes or something like that.
Well, I mean, I caught one episode and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty interesting concept. I kind of like this."
Yes,
And
Fuzz. 100% agree, Fuzz. It is definitely the modern day take on the Twilight Zone. It's
what's that?
written
Black Mirror?
well. Black Mirror, yeah, it's written
Okay.
well. It's just a really good show, and it's funny because like where the Twilight Zone had more of like I want to say like a horror element to it. Kind of, it was like, oh, like you don't want to be caught in this horror scenario, right? The Black Mirrors, the horror element is technology. It's like technology and horror. Like, oh no.
Mm.
And when I say horror, it's like anything could be, if you think about it, anything could be horror. Like that
Right.
Twilight Zone had that one episode where the guy just wanted to read books and he was left alone in the world where he could read books, but then his glasses broke, so he couldn't read it.
Oh, shit.
That's a horror element for that dude, right? So it's like the same kind of concept, But it really is. It's like a modern day take on the Twilight Zone. So yes, I 100% recommend the Twilight Zone,
Mm.
or not the Twilight Zone, Black Mirror. Sorry, I recommend both. Actually, they're both good. Well, the older episodes of the Twilight Zone. The new ones, I think it's a little kind of wokey. So Dark, go into it. Go into Dark. So what episode are you in?
Dark. I mean, all right. So I'm starting season 2.
Really? You watched the whole season?
I watched the entire season, and like I did fall asleep.
Wow.
I was just chilling on the couch, fell asleep, did nothing with my day. Oh, that's when my girlfriend messaged me that she wanted to go to the movies. I was like, I'm not feeling the movies today. I already wasted my entire day watching TV. Yeah, so Dark was pretty interesting because it's just the way they were piecing it all together, and it was throwing me off because it felt like everybody was time traveling. Everyone was going over here and going over there. I was like, what the hell? But as it started coming together, it started making more sense. And then like seeing like the one dude that was traveling back and forth was like just the older version of the other dude, like the kid. It was an interesting show.
Good. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to I believe Sunday, Yellowstone is coming back, so I'm ready to watch that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yellowstone's a good show. It's like a Western. What are we watching?
Oh, Wakanda Forever.
No. You said you weren't going to see that. We were going to pull up Avatar 2.
Oh.
I don't see the trailer for Wakanda. As soon as I saw Marvel, I'm like, ugh, what are you doing? Like, seriously, Marvel is on a strong timeout for me. I'm done with Marvel. Like, the only way I'm watching something from Marvel is either I'm watching it on Disney Plus because I get that for free, or I'm bootlegging, through the high seas.
Mm-hmm.
So full screen it, full screen it, full screen it.
Oh, it's already started.
Yeah, they'll do the audio because that might get us a copyright strike. But regardless, we're talking over it. We're
Underwater?
making new content. This is fair use. So I'm gonna challenge it.
This show, I mean, this movie was just so amazing. It still
The
is,
first
really.
one, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
hell yeah. I go back and rewatch it every couple of years.
the first one's back is in the movie theaters. You can go see it in IMAX again if you want to go see it.
Oh.
Yeah, they took it off of I think it was on Disney Plus and they removed it, and
Mm-hmm.
now you can catch it back on they went back into the movie theaters.
Yeah.
I honestly hope that because Avatar is a visual movie, right? Like I
Yeah.
saw it in 3D and I was like, oh, like I really felt like I was there. So I'm hoping that right now, YouTube and the resolution right now is just not doing this movie justice. I'm hoping that when we go see it, it's like
Mhm.
at another level.
I
Like
mean,
what's
most likely.
after? It's like not even not 4K, not even 8K, like 16K or something. Like they invented a new camera to film this.
Yeah. It would be pretty cool to see it in like a VR kind of situation where you're just looking all around and you're there.
Do you know
That's
in
coming.
Disney? Do you know in Disney they created Pandora in the Animal Kingdom?
Oh, really?
So they actually have a place. Yeah, they have like the birds and the characters and everything, and you can go there and see it all.
Hmm. That's pretty dope.
But you went to Universal Studios, right? You said you went to
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Yep.
Oh, how was that?
That was really fun.
You felt like you were in the movie?
Yeah, you definitely feel like you're on Diagon Alley and you're, a character there and you see all the little shops and they did an awesome job of bringing that to life.
Dope. I heard they are also gonna expand it more. Like Universal Studios is actually going deep into like creating more stuff, and I heard like they're really gonna dive more into Harry Potter.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's coming out next
Are
month.
they are officially letting go of the Fantastic Beasts series.
Oh, they are?
But that is okay because they still have like that whole Harry Potter wizarding world. Like they have so many stories that they can create from just that concept there that I think they're definitely going to keep going with Harry Potter, but it's going to
I
be
think they should do
different.
not exactly like the Broadway show, but do a spinoff
Hmm.
and kind of follow loosely that story because that's like the sequel. Who wouldn't want to see it, especially now that they're all older? Bring
Yeah.
them back and the whole nostalgia of it plus a new adventure. If it's written right, I mean, that could easily make a couple of $1 billion.
Yeah.
I think they should do that. Dope.
The wizarding world. Oh, I love it.
Do you
Like as soon as we
follow
got to Universal, they were just
uh-huh.
people in their cloaks. And I was like, oh my God. Hmm.
So when you went to Universal Studios, did you do the city walk, the outside thing that's free?
We did do that.
Okay,
Um,
perfect. Did
we
you go
did
to
play
that one store? Did you go to the one store that was like it kind of has like a Harry Potter vibe, but it's like a wizard. Like there's like little bottles of like potion and stuff like that you go in. There's like it's like food. It's like a restaurant almost.
no, I didn't see anything like that.
Yeah, it was on City Walk. Me and my little guy, we went there and he got these like little potion bottles that when you open it, it's candy inside.
Hmm.
It's like the powder sugary candy.
Hmm.
Fuzz said, Harry Potter World at Universal got a store of wood wands. Bring a chopstick to save yourself $40. Yeah, yeah. A lot of those wands you can get on Amazon now because Amazon is pretty much the new Alibaba, so all that stuff is on there. So you can
Hmm.
get a nice Chinese import wand much cheaper.
Oh man, their cloaks were official though. Like we had gotten cloaks from I think it was like Spirit Halloween, And we brought them.
Gotcha.
They arrived there with cloaks on, but like the cloaks they had there were so official. I should have gotten one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that's cool because I'm excited. I'm planning to go to Disney World. You know, like I was saying, my youngest promise was made, so a promise is going to be kept. So I'm planning on going to Disney World the last week in December for his birthday, and yeah, I'll probably go to Universal Studios because I do have a few Harry Potter fans, so
Uh-huh.
I might as well do that one too. I'm bummed because I'm like I saw the plans for Universal and they're making Super Mario World.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, man, I
Really?
want to do Super Mario
That
World.
sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to ride like I'm in Mario Kart and shit.
Mhm.
So I'll have to go back in a few years when they open that up.
You know.
But I this is the crazy part. Like I was doing the math and it's like I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna be like 10 grand just to go to this for a week. I'm like, that's crazy. Like I feel like, yeah, of course, Disney stocks are tanking. I'm like, how do you expect people to come? You know, you're you're crazy,
Yeah.
and
Well, you know
I
what?
get it.
That just shows that like that divide that we have between like the rich and the poor, like it's not going anywhere. Because their stocks are tanking,
Uh,
there are still people going to the park and they're spending
right, like
like
myself. Like
thousands of
I'm gonna go,
dollars
and this
for
is crazy
that
that
experience.
yeah, like, and I'm gonna go. Here I am. I'm gonna spend the money, and
Mhm.
but like once again, I don't know. Like you don't want to be poor, be a nerd. That's it. That's all I can say to people. You don't want to be poor. Get into IT. There's tons of money to be made. Like
Yeah.
I don't want. I can't fathom why people are not picking themselves up by their bootstraps and saying, "Look, I don't want to be like this. I don't want to live this lifestyle."
Mhm.
Especially if you're here in the States and you have the opportunity to like live that quote unquote American dream. That's just the American dream is just bettering your lifestyle. Whatever
Mhm.
you may, you know, wherever you are now, you're like, this sucks. I don't want to do this. And then you just lift yourself to be like, not at the level of where you're spending, 10 grand a weekend at Disney World, but yeah, work for that dream. Why not? Like, you know what?
Mhm.
Like, why not work for that? Be like, yeah, I want to do this. Like, there was one thing growing up, and, Ma tried her hardest with us. But one of the things I learned was like, I just, I didn't want to tell my kids no.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like when Ma would tell us no, like, it would break her heart. Like she was like, I want to do that for you, but I can't afford it. And so
Mhm.
that's what I wanted. I wanted to be at a level where I could not have to tell my kids no. And don't get me wrong, I tell my kids no all the time because I don't want them to be spoiled. But it's not because of like a social constraint that I have to tell them no because I can't do that. Like that
Mhm.
devastates me as a parent to be able to say like I can't do that. Now of course my kid comes out with something cockamamie like I want to go to Mars. I can't do that. Technology doesn't insist to do that, you know? Are you a fan of the John Wick movies? Because the
Yeah,
new trailer
there's
for
a
that,
new one coming out, right?
yeah, the new trailer dropped for that too. So I don't know if you wanted to pull that one up too and watch that one, but yeah, I was like, yo, yeah, yeah, and that's exactly they're pivoting. They're pivoting. Going back to Fuzz's comment, Disney is actually pivoting. They're not catering no more to kids. They're catering to um, nostalgia.
Mhm.
And Fuzz is 100% right. They're catering to people with jobs now, which they're doing it 100% wrong because if they're trying to get somebody like me who's into the fandom, um, the whole Star Wars thing, I'm not gonna go to Star. My kids are going to Star Wars, and because we grew up with the old movies, and what I heard there, the only things they got walking around is the sequel characters, and I'm like, nobody cares about the sequel.
Mm.
Like I said previously, the new Star Wars show that's on Disney Plus, nobody's watching that.
Yeah.
And I heard it's actually good, and I haven't even watched it. I think I might have caught the first episode. That was it. I think I fell asleep in the first episode, actually. As I said, I might. Like you're like, wait, you can't remember if you saw it or not. I'm like, eh.
Does the well, doesn't need an intro. Excuse me, doesn't need an introduction.
You should
I
put
guess it's a lot
subtitles on
different
so
with
that way.
no oh yeah, with no
Yeah, so
Audio.
you gotta put subtitles so we can kind of get some kind of
Yeah.
context.
Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, there you go, there you go, there you go. Oh, Mom said, "Hello, my children. I am watching the show. By the way, Lynn, the lady said that the chicken was delicious. Thank you." Oh, you brought
You're
chicken?
welcome.
Damn. I was bummed the other day when you were grilling. I was like, damn, I should have went for your burgers. Me and the kids
That's
have been talking about your burgers. Your burgers.
well. I guess it's a good thing you guys didn't come then because we didn't have any burgers. I just bought a bunch of chicken,
What?
just
Oh,
grilled up some chicken, called it a day. Chicken and hot dogs. Yep.
oh, you see, then it
Went
was
the cheap
fake. It
route.
was fake because yeah, we were talking about your burgers. I was like, damn. Especially when I play like my island music and I'm just thinking about like just being at a beach somewhere and they were like, oh, there we had Titi's Berbers and they were like, oh yeah. This is
Yeah.
crazy. It looks like a whole western in the middle of John Wick.
I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm not even paying attention to the trailer to be
So
honest.
so pause it. So pause it. So pause it. Pause it. So what I got from it, because I saw the trailer earlier,
Hmm.
um, John Wick is trying to, because he was excommunicado from the last movie, right? And so he's
Hmm.
trying to get away from all that. And they were like, well, what about the people that you care about? And so they brought him back in. And what I got from it was that one guy that he sits at the table with, they set up, by the laws in their society. He's like they're setting up a duel, and like they got to meet at the duel spot, and he's like trying to get to it, but I guess that guy like hired like a bunch of the mercenaries to like try to stop him from
Hmm.
making it to the duel. So I think that's what you're gonna start seeing towards the end here is like he's trying to make it before like sunrise or whatever. See, there's the guns and there's the guy and they're in Paris and everything, and he's just trying to make it, try to survive the night. But I'm in. I swear, I want Keanu's jeans. That guy like doesn't age,
He
man.
does not age. Nope.
See, and then look at he's fighting, trying to make it. Everybody's coming out of the woodworks.
Yep. He finally found love. He's like announced that he's in a relationship.
Keanu did
Hmm.
because I know he was playing it safe for a minute.
Yeah.
It's funny. He's the guy who would take photos. And like the girls would be here, but you see his hands like on the side, like he's not touching them because he was like, "I am not trying to be blamed for anything."
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
that
He
looks
went to
good.
like some awards recently. He was like holding hands with some chick, and there were photos everywhere.
That's not the alleged like older chick that they said that he was with, right? It was a younger, somebody
No,
younger at
I
this
think
time.
it's they. It is some like older woman or something.
Oh, really? Oh, you got mama issues? Damn it, Keanu.
What do you
Don't
mean?
have
He found
mommy
somebody who's
issues.
like mature, man.
God,
Somebody
God,
who's on his
mommy.
level. Get on
I
my
think he has
level.
mommy issues. Mm, mm. I don't understand it, man. Like I see all these guys, and like they just are horrendous when it comes to dating.
Hmm.
Like Will Smith, Keanu with mommy issues, even Elon
I
Musk,
feel
man.
like
That
Will
guy's a
Smith is a bad
billionaire.
example, though. I don't know. I feel like Will Smith is a bad example because they had such a long marriage and they portrayed themselves in a certain way for so many years. So I feel like you can't like taint the marriage just because like at the end she went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like, damn, come on.
Yeah, but you could see it coming along. Like it was coming for a minute. I feel like he should have gotten out when he had a chance.
Mm.
And I'm not an advocate for divorce, but in that clear situation, he should have got the hell out. It's like, damn, I'm Will Smith. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Because now he's tarnishing his brand. I mean, think about who Will Smith was. He was that bad boy, right? He was in Bad Boys, right? He was just that boppy chulo, good looking guy, action hero kind type of guy. And now that image of him is gone. Like you think
You
he
think that? Do you think that their marriage went the way it did because they were both in the spotlight and maybe there was some
no,
kind of you don't think that being in the spotlight influenced everything?
no. Honestly, the reason why their marriage went the way is exactly what we were talking about earlier, where the dynamic has shifted between men and women.
Hmm.
She's definitely the man in that relationship, and he's definitely the female in that relationship.
Mm.
And he's freaking Will Smith. That's crazy. It's the reason why I keep saying, like, listen, I'm elevating myself on another level. I'm gonna stay single until that, because I know there's nobody on this planet who's gonna be on that level with me. I'm
Really?
sorry.
Nobody on the planet. You're so dramatic.
I'm being sarcastic, and yes, there is somebody out there. If you need me to be clear, Captain Obvious. The thing is, I don't want to put it. I don't want to go through, like I said earlier. I don't want to be running through shit to try to find the
Find
person
that
like
one.
that.
Mm.
Right.
How do you feel about hiring somebody to do the dating for you? That's like a
Hiring
thing.
somebody,
Yeah,
somebody
you
to
can
do
like
the
hire
dating
somebody
for
to
me.
do the dating
Explain
for
this.
you, and then when they feel like they found a good match, that's the one that you like go out and date.
Huh.
It's like an
That's.
assistant. You hire an
I mean, I
assistant
do
who
have
does like the
disposable
whole like
income, so
scrolling and all that for you.
really, really. Oh. I don't know. Like I told you, I thought about importing, like spending
Hmm.
some time in Latin America and finding somebody out there because they're just not. But the bad part about it is like when I'm eventually I want to come back here, so they're gonna get domesticated with the influence that's around them, you know. And the thing that keeps them, it's society that keeps women in check. So once I move her away from that society, which was back home, that's keeping her in check, she's gonna be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs again.
Well, you got to bring the whole family. You got to bring her. You got to bring the mom. You got to bring, like have the in-law suite in your house. That she still has somebody with that older
That's what Puff said.
mentality of like, who
That's
can
what
be
happens
your
when you get
man?
somebody from the Philippines. That's what Puff said earlier. It was like you have to bring up the whole family. I've heard of that too. I've heard of that too, man. No, maybe I'll just have two lives and just keep flying over there, and she just stays over there.
I tell you what, though, I think one of the reasons I like traveling so much is because when you go to other countries, it's a breath of fresh air. Like it's
It
just,
is.
you
It
can
really is.
feel it. There's a difference. There's a
It really
difference in the way
is.
people carry themselves and in just what seems important in other
Hmm.
places versus here.
It is. I 100% agree. Like people tend to value life more in other places,
Yes.
and they tend to value what they have, and not always trying to get something else.
Right.
It's like I was having a conversation earlier with my ex about the holidays, and we were talking about what is it that the kids want for Christmas, and she was like, I asked them, they don't want anything, and I was like, that's great, that's wonderful. Oh, but we gotta get it. And I'm like, no, we don't. I was like, just um plan something, do make a memory with your boys, right?
Right.
Go
Right.
out a night, say this is we're gonna celebrate Christmas, have a good dinner, maybe go to an event or something, and just do that.
Hmm.
It's like, and then like I told her, I was like, look, these kids don't know what they want because they're not being told what they need to have. We
Hmm.
don't have commercials, we don't have advertisement. It's like the big book came in from Amazon. I was the one that was looking at it and getting excited, like, oh my god, look at all these toys. That book sat in the table and nobody looked at that until I
Hmm.
finally took it and chucked it into the recycle bin. It's like that's a blessing. I'm like, you have kids who are not needy. Why do you want to program them? Because that's what we've been programmed to be,
Right.
that consumerist during the holidays. It's like I don't want to do that. Like honestly, it was fun when we did the remember when we did the
The
$20
grab
gift?
bags. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun just having that
Yep.
event. And it was like I'll take yours, and then mom would take that one, and it's like it was
Oh,
cool
Ma
doing
asked
that.
if we're doing that this year, so I guess we have
We
to make it
should.
official. All right,
Yeah,
Ma,
we should
we're
just
doing it
make it a
this year.
day. And then it's like when we do Christmas with you, you pick a day and we're like, hey, today is gonna be Christmas. And
Yeah.
that to me got me out of the sense where I was like, because like look, the hardest part was going through a divorce and then seeing my kids like not with me on Christmas. That was
Mhm.
hard. But now I'm okay with it because it's like Christmas is not the 25th. It's whenever I say Christmas is.
Yes.
And to me, the
Mhm.
25th is just another day. So you know what I do? If I'm home alone, I'm watching Christmas movies. And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, that's my, I'm in my PJs, and boom, that's what I'm doing.
You're becoming an old man.
I really am. I really am. Get off my
Uh,
lawn, you damn kids.
we used to order Chinese food on Christmas Day because they're
Yeah,
always
that's what I should go.
open.
It's a Chino spot.
Yep.
Actually, you know what I did was I went driving around and just looking at decoration one Christmas, and I ended up going up like somewhere like past Liberty, like out somewhere in the Montes, and there was the Kenny's Chicken that was open. So I was like,
Mhm.
oh, so I was like, yo.
Good old Kennedy Fried. When I
Yeah.
was a kid, I went
Well,
crazy
they're
for
now
Cabbage
Crown.
Patch
They're now
Kids
Crown chicken.
and Teddy Ruxpin. I don't know what Teddy
Oh
Ruxpin is.
yeah, Teddy
That pull
Ruxpin.
it up.
Do you remember my talking Mickey Mouse I had?
Yes.
Remember when we found him and the nose was off and we're like, ah,
Yeah.
because we threw him in the closet because of Chucky.
Oh my God,
Well,
that thing used to scare the hell out of me as a kid.
well, that's what Teddy
What?
Ruxpin is. He's like a bear that would talk with the audio tape that you put in his back.
Okay.
So Fuzz said $400 per month goes a long way. Average salary is $50 per month.
No, this
Where is
guy.
that at? In other countries? In the Philippines?
It's probably in the Philippines.
Oh man, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Like I keep thinking like, oh man, like the people where you hear the people where they rob a bank and they got like 100K and they go to Mexico and they just live out the rest of their life on a beach somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, man, that sounds so awesome.
Right?
Like not the whole robbing the bank thing, but just getting 100K and just living out the rest of your life. Like, how much do you think you need to retire here in the United States? Yo, Jack
Drunk
said I
had
had
one
a Teddy
too.
Ruxpin. What up, Jack? Welcome back to the show, brother.
Yeah, put the tape in the back. Stop! You don't know what Kennedy Fried Chicken is?
They're
My mind is blown. My mind is literally
Crown.
blown.
Do you know Crown Fried Chicken? Because that's the new one too that's coming around. Crown.
Mm-hmm.
It's are they? They're not Indian. What are they?
It's a hole in the wall fried chicken spot.
Yeah, but it's run by like Indian dudes. But they're
Yes.
not. They're not Indian dudes. What are they?
They're like
Muslim?
maybe
I don't
know
want
how
to
to
be.
categorize them in a PC way. They're Indian. I don't know. They're like the cab drivers that wear like turbans, those kind of people.
Oh my goodness, you're just gonna get us a strike. What are you doing?
I
You
put
had
a
to take it that
disclaimer. I
far.
don't know how to say it in a PC way, but if I say it that way, everyone like now knows who I'm talking about.
Oh, Drunk
Grilled
said
chicken out of
one
there?
good thing. He said one good thing that came out of the election. My state, Missouri, legalized recreational weed. Look at
Hey,
you. All
I feel like I should
right.
light up after that one.
Mom said, Lynn, please stop by after the show and bring. No, she's not. She's going dancing. She's going to the city. She just said that. She's going to the Bronx and she's going to Salsa con Fuego. Pay attention. Hey, pay attention.
I love how Ma's always sending us like private messages on here, like live on YouTube. Like, Ma, hello. You could send it in text.
I don't know how to explain Kennedy because the ones, all right, so Station Fried Chicken and Crispy Chicken. No, those are like the ones you find at like a gas station. Those are like chain chicken, like KFC and Popeyes. It's not like that. It's a completely different type of level of chicken because like the way it's seasoned up, it's seasoned with like Indian season. So it's like, I don't know, it's banging. It's the best thing to have like 2 in the morning when you're drunk and you're like, yo, it's the best thing to have, man.
And the ones upstate, like
it.
there are some Kennedy Fried Chickens in the Bronx, but when you eat it upstate, it's just different. I don't know.
But have you gone to Crown? Because Crown, I've noticed Crown in like New Jersey, here in PA. Like Crown, that's the one that's by Mont too.
No, mine has a Kennedy.
No, she has two. The one that's across the way from her, like you could walk to that spot. It's Crown.
There's one close to Ma's?
Mm-hmm. And it's Crown. You should try it. Fuzz, yes, I do remember Roy Rogers. They actually had they came back for a while. Like the chain came back. They actually had good burgers too, and the fried chicken was pretty good. Yeah, the chicken was good. Yeah. But they got killed again. They just can't stay open. They can't stop going bankrupt.
Yes, for my sweet 16, Ma walked into the Kennedy Fried Chicken, hole in the wall fried chicken spot. It was like, I need to order 2 pans of chicken. Yeah. And there were no leftovers.
No, that's the thing though. That's not. It's a weird chain. It's not just in New York. I'm saying it. I saw it in like there's spots in New Jersey, PA. I think I've even seen it like down, like even down along the East Coast.
Yeah, but he's saying he's in the Midwest.
I'm telling you, you just gotta find. They
Yo, it's
probably have a
better than
different name.
Popeyes. I'm sorry, it's better than Popeyes.
You just gotta find. You gotta find. How do I find it? How do we say it? It's usually in like
The hood
questionable
areas.
areas. Yep, questionable areas.
Yeah.
So you got to start there in your journey. You got to go on your map, either Apple Maps or probably Google Maps is better. Google Maps, and say like fried chicken near me, and then you got to keep hitting the spots until the Indian dude is behind the counter, and then that's when you know you found the spot. I don't know how to explain it. Because they'll have it, each spot is the same too, because they'll have it behind the little like heating glass to keep it warm, and there's always a guy in the back that's frying it up, and then he's like, "What can I get you?" And you say, "Well, I need a 2-piece box or something like that."
This is Bojangles. I've heard of Bojangles. I have never seen or eaten
That's
at
still
one.
a chain. That's still a chain, and their chicken tastes similar to Popeyes.
There's Zaxby's and ATL. Man, there's fried chicken
Weird.
everywhere.
It's weird because like Kennedy's and Crown, they're both like they're still a chain. It's like a chain, but it's not like a known chain like Popeyes or KFC or Bojangles or anything like that. Because White
It's
Castle,
not
White
in
Castle,
neighborhoods. Like you're not gonna find one with a drive-through. It's definitely a spot that you're gonna
yeah,
have
it's
to
gonna be a
parallel
hole in the
park.
wall.
You're gonna have to walk
Hole
up
in
the
the
block.
wall. I'm telling you, if Popeyes is your like gauge, it's much better than Popeyes, bro. Telling you, you're gonna be like, damn, this is good. Man, because it is a chain though. It is a
Okay,
chain, but it's like
maybe that's what they are. Arab.
yeah, it might be that. It might be that then, because they might just. I'm telling you, it's like an underground chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, so White Castle down south is by a different name. I think it's like a crispy or something like that. But you walk in and you're like, oh shit, it's a White Castle. They taste the same, they look the same. It's just a different name down there.
There's something good about White Castle too. You know, I'm going to Salsa con Fuego and they have food there, but something tells me on the way home I need to stop at one of these spots because you guys are naming
No,
all the good spots right
these
now.
these are the 3 places Lynn loves to go to when she's drunk. The 99 cents pizza spot in the city.
Oh hell yes, Brothers Pizza, amazing.
Which when I went to Tennessee, the guy was like, this was when I went to the Santa karaoke spot that somebody told me to. So when I go places, I tend to ask the locals like where to go, right? And so the lady at this one coffee shop, she told me to go to the Santa karaoke joint. So I went there, and there was a guy. As I come out, this guy sitting out there, and I asked the guy, where's a good spot to go get pizza? He was like, yo, where are you from? Because you have an accent. I was like, oh, I'm on the East Coast. He's like, yeah. And so with his like Southern accent, he was like, well, you wanna, we ain't got 2 brothers out here. And I was like, yo, shit, how do you know about
We
2
know about
brothers?
2 brothers.
He was like, but we do got 2 boots. And I was like, all right, 2 boots. And it was sure enough, it was pretty good. But the pizza out in Tennessee was pretty good. Shout out to 2 boots.
Yeah, so there's 2 Brothers Pizza, the 99-cent pizza. There's White Castle.
Yep.
And there's Kenny Fried Chicken. You cannot go wrong with those 3 right there.
And they're always open late, no matter what time it is, man. Man, what was we did New Year's. We did the fight, and then we were walking around. And I think it was like
we saw the ball drop. We were like walking by as
I think it was like 2 or 3. I think it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and we just hit the pizza spot. You get a pie for like $8. Yeah, pepperoni. I think it's like $10. I don't even think they're giving you pizza. I don't know what it is, but I think I think it is pizza. I think they're taking a loss, and I think it's just a cover. I think it's just a front store to cover up, money laundering.
For the longest time, they were cash only. Like even when everyone else was doing like,
I think they still are.
This like they're cash only. That's it.
Yeah, I think they still are. Same thing with Kennedy's and Crown.
No change.
Yeah, and Crown and Kennedy's the same way, cash only. It's like,
Mhm.
no, cash only.
I say no change, like you don't get there's no tax, you know? It's not like, oh, $8.56. No, it's $8.
Oh yeah,
Period.
it's straight. Yeah, $2. Yeah, you'll get the pie $2. Yeah, you might need to change if you're getting a soda because it's like 50 cents. Yo, inflation does not hit these spots. I don't even know how it works out, man. I'm telling you, they're fronts. They gotta be
Mhm.
fronts, man. This is me being very analytical and logical. I'm like, wait, how do you make it? How are you staying in business selling a dollar slice pizza when everywhere else is like $5 a slice right now?
A place called Lee's. Lee's sounds Midwestern. Like we are not gonna see one of those here.
Lee sounds like that'll be dope as fuck, bro.
Think?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about like a dude that can cook. Lee's barbecue. That sounds good.
Texas chicken is taking over. I haven't seen a Texas chicken yet, but I'm not
Texas
in Brooklyn.
chicken.
Hmm.
Oh, is it good? It's taking over, but is it good?
Yes. Drunk could
Junk, are
go to
you
White
getting white?
Castle and
Junk,
get
are you getting
fire.
drunk tonight and get some White Castle? Is that what we're doing?
Right,
Well,
Southern
sir,
accent. Yes.
well, sir, thank you for the compliment, sir. That really means a lot to me.
They
Really
got
does. I
two
tip my
boots.
hat to you. I tip my hat to you.
I didn't even know White Castle has breakfast. I just realized that Wendy's has breakfast, and I'm kind of intrigued. Like, maybe I'll go to
Wendy's has
Wendy's.
breakfast. Taco Bell has breakfast too. I like the
I
Taco
just
Bell
feel like
breakfast.
you shouldn't be eating any of that for breakfast. Like, can you make yourself a real egg at home before you leave the
Yeah, you know what? It's a guilty pleasure when you can get a
house?
$5 box of Taco Bell. You know, you get
Ooh.
the little cinnamons.
Well, that's how Wendy's got me. They have like a $3 breakfast deal. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, I could try
Wendy's
that.
French toasts were pretty good. Well, I mean, it's just French toast sticks. It does still taste like French toast sticks.
Friends make the best food because they actually eating the food that they cook. Yep. They ain't trying to make
Oh,
money.
Jug! Yo, Ma, if Mom's still watching, Jug said he wants a gyro right now, man. Yo, let's hit the
Mom would be
gyro
down for a
spot, man.
gyro. Mom's down for a gyro
Hell yeah.
anytime.
Yo, but the one gyro spot that we go, once again, it's Indian dudes again. I listen, I don't know what I don't I feel like I'm saying the wrong thing,
I think they're Arab. I think Drunk was right. It's Arab.
but they make banging gyros too.
Hmm.
What's the one we get? The chicken and lamb? The combo? Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
With the tiki sauce.
Yeah, and then we get the wings to go with it too. But I said Texas chicken is the best. I gotta try that then. That's in the city. Next time I'm in the city, I'm gonna try that. He said I had so much White Castle. He's like, get drunk and get a crave case. You get the box, the one that looks like a suitcase. Didn't we get that the other day?
Yeah, we sure did.
Yo, you know what was crazy? I thought I was like, I thought I was really like when I heard the price, I was like, am I hearing things or am I like super drunk right now?
Hmm.
When she was like $50 for White Castle, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day,
Anything
those
in a
little
case,
burgers.
which is what, like 20 burgers?
Yeah, but back in the day, those little burgers used to be 30 cents. They're like a dollar, like $1.30 now.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've gotten to the point where we can't just get the little burgers anymore. We have to get the chicken rings. Like, I love ordering a sack of chicken rings and then putting like one or two chicken rings like in my burger. That's where it's at right there. I like their
This
fries. They have really good fries.
gyro extra white sauce. What's up? Yeah, but you gotta have fries with that. Right, Lynn? You gotta have the
Yes.
fries with it.
Yup.
Mom will
Honey
sit there and eat
fries,
every
so
single
good.
fry too. I'm like, Mom, that's bad for you. She's like, I know. She keeps eating every single one. I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? That doesn't even taste. What are you doing? Just have salt with it. Every single one. You can't let it
What's
go to waste.
crazy is the gyro spot that we have over here. They have really good fried chicken too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why we always get the side of wings.
Yep. There's my gyro. I'm
Where's mine?
She's like,
I'm
I'm on my way
downstairs waiting.
downstairs. Yep.
All right, send her Uber Eats of a gyro. I said, Chuck said if I walk into my apartment building with a Crave case, all cheeseburger with a bag of 2 cheese fries, with no shame, then do it, sir. Listen, that's a guilty pleasure. Do it. You know what Lynn does too? She gets the little chicken rings, right? And she puts it in the burger. So she eats a cheeseburger chicken ring burger.
Yep.
Never had a bad gyro. No, I had small gyros. To me, that's bad. Like, yo, why? What's this tiny little thing? Like, I'm left wanting more. Yeah, gyros are good, man.
I have not had the cheese fries from White Castles. That's something on the list now. I really hope I remember too. The next time I'm sitting in the White Castle drive-through, I'm gonna remember. I'm gonna be like, "Ooh, it's
nah, you're gonna be drunk as hell."
Ooh.
Where those burgers at? Have you tried? Do you ever go to Taco Bell?
Sometimes.
Because they have nacho fries. So Taco
Their
Bell
fries
has
are
fries
good.
now.
Yeah, they're good. They have like a nice flavor to them because it's seasoned. And then you dip
Speaking
them
of
in the
which,
sauce.
I
Oh,
might
it's nice.
grab that for my kids tomorrow because they were asking for that. They saw the commercial for it and they're like, "Oh, I want to try some nacho fries."
Yeah, the cheese fries. I mean, the nacho fries are back at Taco Bell for a limited time.
I don't know what the whole big deal with the Mexican pizza was though, because that thing was horrible. Like I got it because everybody, oh, it's back, and everybody wants it. It was like sold out, sold out. So I finally was like, what the hell is the deal with this? And they were like, oh, now it's permanently back. And I tried it. I was like, this is garbage. Like I don't understand why people are going so crazy for it.
Yeah.
You know what's also back? The McRib at McDonald's.
I haven't had it. People talk about that.
Quick trivia for everybody out there: the McRib came out. The birth of the McRib came out because of the Flintstones movie.
Mm-hmm.
So when the movie came out, McDonald's had a tie-in. There was just like the McRib, because you know how like when Fred goes to the drive-in and they give him that big rib and tips over the car.
Yeah.
that was supposed to be the McRib. So yeah, because I do remember being a kid and that's the first time it came out.
So I've heard this term from multiple people, the McGangbang. Sounds awful. Have you heard this term?
No.
I've heard this from different sources. So I'm like, holy shit, is this really a thing? Or is this just like an Orange County thing? I don't know. But the McGangbang, you basically take a McChicken and a McDouble and you put them together. You like put one inside the other and you eat it that way. I'm just like, dude, whose mouth is even opening that wide for all of that?
You know what I do? I'll go get some nuggets and then I'll come back and like I'll just take my own bread and cheese and everything, just make me like a chicken nugget sandwich. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's the best because I have the sauce and I'm like, yo, they just can't make it how I can make it.
What the hell is a chicken nugget sandwich? What bread do you use?
Buns. So I have buns, right? Because the kids use buns for the sandwiches. I have the jalapeno cheese that the kids use for the sandwiches, and I'm putting like 4 nuggets in there, and I'm putting some zesty sauce because I don't like the dipping sauces, and I don't like eat the shit out of it. Like, man, this is pretty good. Yeah.
So we're on food. Each of y'all are throwing a separate dinner party, but you have to cook. What are each of you making for your separate dinner parties? I'm definitely throwing something on the grill. Mm-hmm. Steak, chicken, burgers.
Definitely some steaks.
Grilling. Mm-hmm. And then for a side, maybe I'll make some rice. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm making rice in my rice cooker.
Yeah, but we're supposed to be doing separate dinner parties. You can't take everything that I just said.
We're separate parties. How do you mean? I could do the same exact thing. You wouldn't even know. Separate parties.
You know what? I did do for Halloween a couple years ago. I did a chili party. So I made 2 separate chilies in crock pots.
Oh, that was good.
One of them was like a white bean chili.
Her chicken chili was gone.
Yeah, and then the other one was just like with the regular like ground beef, and that was just just a regular hearty chili. Those were really good.
Yeah, okay, so that's going to be your party, and then my party is going to be the rice in the rice cooker and steak because that's really all I know how to cook to impress people. That's what I always do.
I can make lasagna. I just want to throw it out there because I know on a previous stream we were talking about how, if you don't know how to make lasagna, you can't cook. I can make a lasagna. Thank you. So maybe I'll make that.
Though my rice and beans comes out more Mexican style as opposed to Lynn's, which will come more Puerto Rican style. So it's okay that we make the same thing because it's two different
It's
styles.
gonna taste
So
different. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Tomorrow's Veterans Day. Happy Veteran Day. Happy Veterans to all our friends and families who are here and were veterans. So Ray, happy Veterans Day.
Oh, thank
Do
you,
any other
Lynn.
veterans on
Thank you,
here?
thank you.
Ola.
Any other veterans? No.
You know what I found out? I received did an email when I worked for Enterprise, and they would send it out every year showing different locations that offered stuff for Veterans Day.
Yes.
I know you take advantage of this, and there's a lot of
Well,
restaurants that offer free meals.
yeah.
Stewart's ice cream shops, they're offering 99 cents cones for everyone because of Veterans Day. There's definitely a lot of
Really?
deals.
Oh,
Hmm.
I didn't know that. Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm more of a like I never. Excuse me. I never really did all that stuff. It was my ex that would do all that. She would be like, "Hey, take advantage. You earned it." So, like, I don't know. I'm kind of modest. So she would go and ask, and then really the only thing I ask now is like, "Oh, okay." I wait through her. I noticed how much discounts I could get, so I start asking now.
Hmm.
That's about it. But yeah, I would get free. Like we would start early. I'd get free breakfast, free lunch, free dinner. I was like, damn, it's like a king. One day in November. I can't even make a lasagna. Well, Lynn can make a lasagna.
Yeah, so I'm throwing it out there, John, because of you. When I put it out there, I can make lasagna.
But yeah, no, that's what I do. Normally when I gotta, either I'm buying something or I'm making my spicy rice with I throw in black beans, corn, and the sauce, and it's like it comes out yellow. It's like yellow rice with beans, but it has a kick to it. Whereas
Mhm.
Lynn's is more flavorful because she puts the sazon and adobo and all that stuff. Salsa con fuego.
I'm worried about this spot. They're I was looking at reviews, and they say if you get there between 9 and 10 p.m., there's usually an hour and a half wait.
Oh shit!
What? I don't want to wait an
So what
hour.
are you worried about? It's like a
And they
dope
won't
ass
even
spot.
let me. They won't even let me reserve a table. I can't make reservations. They're just like,
But you
oh
said there's
no,
food
first come,
there.
first serve.
You said there's food there.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess they have a DJ tonight.
Oh, okay.
Um,
It sounds
I
like
don't,
it's gonna be dope.
I don't
Me
know.
personally, I don't really like going to spots like that. Like I told you, I like going to spots where there's no cover, and I like
Right.
to go hopping. But
Yeah, but I was looking at their photos, and they have a nice snapper, a nice fried snapper. Oh, I love fried snapper.
you're gonna be the only one there eating.
Yep.
Everyone's gonna be trying to get their grind on, and Lynn's like, "Yo, we were talking about food. I gotta eat
I've
something."
gotten to the point too where every time I go out, I have to get a hookah
Oh,
because
okay.
I'm not really a drinker. So as soon as I get there, I'm like, dude, do they have hookah here? Let's do this. I'm ordering
Well,
one.
hookah's like not really anything. Like it's just tobacco.
It makes me a little lightheaded. That's kind of cool.
Does it? Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Oh, Joke said, other day I was at the store buying everything I needed to make lasagna. Then it just hit me like, what the fuck am I doing? And just put a frozen pizza. Yeah, well, you know what? Well, what brand frozen pizza? Because there's some they're just bad.
It's not delivery. It's DiGiorno.
They're bad.
No, they have a rising crust one. I mean, they're small, but they have a rising crust one that's actually pretty good. And they're on sale at Sam's Club all the time. You get 3 pies for $10, so you can't beat that.
Really?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I started buying my milk at Sam's Club too because I get the whole
So you have
New York
a Sam's
milk.
Club membership?
Have access to a Sam's Club membership.
Oh my god! I swear, being a woman. You heard her in the last show too. She said she has access to all the streaming services.
Hell yeah, I have HBO
Now
now.
she has
That's
access to
good.
Sam's Club.
Hulu, Netflix. I have them all. Disney Plus, Amazon. I literally have them
Jeez.
all.
Jeez.
Yo, you know what Amazon did to me?
Oh my goodness. Here we go. What did they do to you?
First off, I was on somebody's Amazon household for about a year after we broke up. So I randomly receive an email and it's like, you are no longer part of this family. So I'm all butthurt. I'm like, oh, my ex finally realized he kicked me off. That's messed up.
Well, if you have two different addresses, they'll kick you off.
So listen, well, we had separate addresses to begin with. He had just added my email as part of the family. So at that point, he kicked me off. And so Amazon is like, well, you're not allowed to join another Prime family for 180 days. Dude, that's like 6
shit.
months. So for like 6 months, I wasn't ordering anything from Amazon because I didn't have Amazon Prime. I didn't have that 2-day shipping.
You had to, they want you to buy your own. That's what it is.
Yes. So what they ended up doing was they messed it up for themselves because I was in the habit of ordering everything from Amazon. And because for 6 months I didn't have access to it, I don't really order from Amazon anymore. It was like that habit died because I had to wait for so long to be part of somebody's Prime.
Yeah. Well, Walmart Plus is actually picking up steam. It's pretty much the same thing as Amazon. They have if you do Walmart Plus, you can get Paramount as the video service, and they're trying to compete. So I don't know if Amazon Prime is going to be as expensive as they want to keep jacking it up, because I think Walmart thinks like 100 and Amazon Prime is 140. So we'll see. We'll see how their prices turn out.
Yeah.
John said, as a frozen pizza professional, home run in as the best brand, then Pep's Draft House. Oh, okay.
I don't think we have either of those in Northeast.
Like, you never know. You got to check. I haven't heard of
either of them though.
You never know. You got to check the stores, because when's the last time you actually checked for like the brands of frozen pizza? You just grab one, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Just the first thing I have to break is kick her from all streaming platforms and change passwords.
Wow. You know what though? Kudos to you, because I talk hella shit. I talk hella shit about the whole situation because, all right, first off, if you don't kick me right away, then in my mind, I'm like, well, maybe he's not really over me, kind of thing. And then
you're like, this is mind level to you?
If you do kick me off later on down the road, like I said, this dude kicked me off like a year later. At that point, I'm like, oh, does he have a new girlfriend? Is he sharing it with somebody else? Like, it's a whole thing.
It gets into your head.
So good for you that you kick him off straight away. Like, that's it. Off my shit.
To me, that's like, that takes too much energy. I don't do any of that. I don't do the whole blocking people on Facebook or through social media. Listen, the other day for a job, this lady, I'm on my phone right now, but this lady called me, like, no lie, between yesterday and today, this lady called me like 100 times. And I still yet have blocked the number. I sent her an email like, I'm not interested. Thank you, but I'm going with somewhere else. And she still was like calling me at nonstop, like 100 times, and I still didn't block the number. Like, I do not do that. That to me takes too much effort to go through my phone and block somebody. Same thing with social media. Like, I don't block people. I know people left because my politics on Facebook. People are like, oh, it's like, fine, good, bye. Don't let the door hit you. But I don't block people like that. And well, for the most part, I don't really I don't subscribe to any of these streaming services. I get all this stuff on the high seas. You're not gonna be laid up with another watching my Netflix. Like, nah. Oh yeah, okay. But once again, I don't do any of that. Like, I bootleg everything. So even like when I bootleg, I can AirPlay. So most TVs are smart TVs, so I could just be like, oh, I got you, and then I do that through my account, and then I AirPlay. That's how I showed Lynn how to do it. Because Lynn's the only one that has access to my bootleg channel, so like she can just boom AirPlay it on. Was it AirPlay or Chromecast or something like that? So boom, I just do that.
Whatever works. I think something different works every time. So
right. So you just gotta. Don't give her access. Just buy a little cheap ass like Chromecast or something and put it on TV and then cast it over. That's too many passwords, man. He's like, fuck that bitch. Changing the password like, oh, you ain't getting nothing.
Oh, it's so satisfying though. It's so satisfying to like change a password on somebody.
Yo, that thing, you're like, there's like levels of mind games and all that. And you're like, I'm changing the password. When are
Heck
you
yeah.
when are you changing passwords on somebody? When you have access to all this stuff.
Well, so I can't think of a recent example, but I know I've changed passwords before and it feels great. All right, so Netflix, for example. Netflix was my own Netflix for the longest time, you know? Like Netflix has been around for quite a while now. So, not so much with like a boyfriend, but like friends in general who, you know, I've logged in on their accounts. When it's time to like change that password, that shit feels good. Kick all those devices.
Listen, honestly, people who have access to my accounts, the reason why they lose it is not because I kicked you off, Lynn. If you have access to my stuff, it's because I just stopped subscribing. That's it. I just like, why am I paying for this? And then I just stop. Like, I forget who has access because I know I've been to your house and logged into things. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I was like,
And now my TV, it's connected with Moz somehow because you know I do all of my stuff. So anytime like someone signs into something on mine, it also gives access on Ma's TV. So I don't actually have to go to her house anymore to like update her memberships.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, like the only person, listen, for the record, I'm gonna become clean. I'm always honest with you guys. The only person that I ever kicked out off of anything of my stuff is my mom because she was jacking up my watch history. And so we were sharing accounts, and I was so mad because she was adding channels and she was jacking up my watch history. I was like, Mom, you gotta go. I was like, I'm gonna set up your own thing. You gotta go because I can't have you. But now, you know, they started doing like profiles. So Mom has her own profile and all my like subscription, like I get Disney Plus for free, so she has that, her little face and all that. But when she was jacking up my watch history, I was like, yo, you gotta go. I can't. I was like, yo, every time we go back to like, you know, do you want to finish watching? I'm seeing some Hallmark movie. Like, I don't want to finish watching Why She's Gone. Like, no, thank you. Oh, it's hilarious.
All right, just started the Fire HBO Max series called Raised by Wolves. Okay.
Yeah, man, HBO got good shows. I heard about that one, but I haven't watched into it. But they do. HBO has some really good shows. HBO has another show called Succession. Man, like I'm watching this show, and so it's like this really. He's a billionaire, and he has kids, and like all the kids are like trying to scheme, trying to take the business from him, and all this stuff. And I'm like, yo, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, would I want my kids to be cutthroat like this? Like trying to do me dirty? But it's like, but then I raised them to do me dirty. So should I be happy that they did me dirty? So I'm like, that was like binge watching like the I think like 3 seasons or something like that. I kept telling my kids, I'm like, if you have to do me dirty like that, I don't know if I should be proud of you or not.
You know what's a good show when you're applying it to your real life? You're like, yo, if you
when you're questioning it, yeah, because it's like some good shit, man. And like it has Macaulay Culkin's little brother in it. And I mean, like I said, I binge watched it. I'm excited because the new season's starting. But man, that was a really good show, and it caught me out of nowhere. Because what I did was I was like, man, I'm tired of watching garbage TV. So I Googled like top TV shows, and like IMDb gave me a list of like the top 100, and it was on there. And so yeah, it's good. It's good. Yo, watch that shit. If you want to learn how to like play the game, like to be like filthy rich, like it's like an inside of it. And like I started like who's this show based on? It's like supposed to be the Trumps or whatever, but it's supposed to be the Murdochs. So it's the guy who ended up buying Fox News and was he had like Fox News, and he was like, you know, pumping out candidates and stuff like that. So if you knew anything about like the Murdoch family, I guess the story is loosely based on that family.
I did see the preview and I just kind of skipped over it. I was like, okay, that seems interesting, and then kept moving.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you like that kind of like always trying to one up somebody and just playing that type of manipulation game, kind of like Game of Thrones, right? Yo, the show's good. It was like it had a slow start, but then I just kept watching it. And just kept. I was like, yo, I gotta watch another episode. I like it when it's like that because the next thing you know, like you watched the whole 3 seasons. You're like, oh shit.
That was me yesterday. I swear. Like, I don't know what the hell happened with that show, Dark, and all of my entire day. Like, I
Yeah.
saw it getting dark outside. I was like, sun's going
And you're still
down. That's
watching
it.
Dark?
I'm still watching this show.
There've been times where I was watching Succession and like I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, I'm falling asleep. And I would like pause it and then I would like wake up and be like, yo, what time is it? And then I'll be like, oh shit, it's pause right where okay. And I just start watching again.
That is crazy.
Yeah, so yeah, Macaulay Culkin has I think 2 younger brothers that are in Hollywood. It's crazy when you see Aaron Carter just passed away, right? And that's like Nick Carter from
Backstreet Boys.
was it the Backstreet Boys? Yeah, his little brother. But then when you see the whole family, like there's a bunch of like of his siblings that are in Hollywood. And I didn't even know it like that. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I started watching Dark yesterday. I watched the whole first season. And at first I was kind of feeling mixed. I was like, what the hell is this? It's just a bunch of sound effects. Like, why do they keep doing it, making it seem dramatic?
I'm shocked that she actually started watching it.
But I really got into it. I was like, what the hell is going on? Everyone was time traveling. It wasn't just like 1 or 2 people. It was like everybody. I was like, it was
Yo, kudos, listen, through this show, we're bringing Lynn to the dark side. I'm telling you, she's coming. She's going into pop culture. All
right, so a quick poll. What do we like better, a good series or an amazing movie?
That's hard for me to do.
So for me, I prefer an amazing movie because a movie is 2 hours, quick. Maybe 3 hours, and it's done. With a series, like if it's a good series, I will spend a week on my couch. Like I won't feed my kids. I won't feed myself.
I like getting into a story. I'm sleeping on the couch. I love the whole building up to it. But like you said, like a good movie, and a good movie could be anything. Like you could just be like, all right, I'm lost in these next 2 hours. This is why I love going to the movie theaters, because you just get lost in those 2 hours in the movie theaters watching that movie, as opposed to like. But then I do like watching a good show, so it's hard. I would have to say something in the middle where it's like maybe I'm watching a trilogy or something like that. So it feels like a show.
Like Netflix has a lot of those like special series where it's like a 4-episode.
I love those.
Extended show, and then boom,
extended show, and it's just one season, it's done, and you got a satisfying ending. Like I love those, man.
Yeah, I tend to watch those because I like watching like true crime and like those like investigative shows, and they have a lot of those like documentaries, That's right up my alley.
I don't know why, but like I like dramas. Like I like Succession. I like Yellowstone. Like I love those like dramatic. Like I don't know. It's just really what it is like modern day soap operas, and I hate that.
Right.
I could say
modern day novellas.
Like, I'm a sucker for that shit. It's the reason why I like freaking wrestling, man. It's like the drama in that shit. But no, yeah, Yellowstone is starting up Sunday. Succession's good. Yellowstone's good. Yellowstone had a spinoff too. Yeah, the limited series are dope. Man, on Netflix, I even got into You.
That was good.
Serial killer.
That was really good.
Season.
That started as a podcast.
Yes.
It started as a podcast. You told Ma about it, and then Ma was like, "Lynn, you have to hear this podcast." Yada yada yada. Next thing I know, she's watching it on Netflix. I was like, "Wait a minute, my mom is like this."
Remember what was the one that we started watching? What was that one that we started watching that I put from on? You were like, "I gotta go," and then you got sucked in like to the first 5 episodes that one day. And then you were like, I gotta go. I really gotta go.
It wasn't You? I think it might have been You.
No, it wasn't You. It was the guy where he was, he acted like he was a doc. It was a podcast, and then it became a show. And I put it on for Ma because I had heard about the podcast. Like I think I did 1 or 2 episodes of the podcast, and I heard it was a show. So I put it on for Ma, and then I got sucked into it. You got sucked into it. It was like 5 episodes in, and then you were like, I gotta.
You really gotta go. And you know what? It's hard for me to like peel myself away though once I'm like really into a show or something, and that's the reason. Like you know your weaknesses, and that's the reason why like I'm a firm believer. Like, you don't need multiple TVs in my house. I don't have a TV in my bedroom because I wouldn't sleep. That's just not a thing. Nope, nope, no.
You Junk, if you like Dexter, use kind of like Dexter. Right, Lynn? Would you say that?
Mm, I guess so. I guess it's kind of like Dexter.
Right? It's
I
kind
don't
of
know.
like Dexter, right?
You is it's just it has a lot of twists. And you think one thing and then something else. And it's just like, whoa, I didn't even see that coming. So it's one of those kind of things. It has a lot of twists.
Yeah.
Good twist. It's a well written show.
It's good. I liked it.
Yeah.
I'll vouch it if you ain't got nothing to watch.
Yeah, and then you get into like, multiple seasons and you expect it to be like, oh, well, you really don't know what to expect. When you have a good first season, you never know what to expect with the following season. So
Yeah,
I
and the
think they did a
guy,
good job at building on what they had already created.
yeah, and the guy that's in that show, I think he blew up. I think he's gonna be like a lead in. I don't know if he's gonna be like a superhero or a supervillain or something like that, but like
Mhm.
he's getting like a big name. You never seen Dexter? Oh, I would see Dexter first, then before you, then.
Dexter is definitely good. Start
Because
from season one.
Lynn,
It's an older show, doesn't matter. Start from season one.
but the reason why I got Lynn, the way I was able to get Lynn onto Dexter was because she likes those crime shows,
Mhm.
like CSI and all that. So I was like, I think he was like
Right.
Dexter, and so Dexter sucked you in, right?
Hmm.
Now my question for you, Junk and Lynn, have you guys seen Breaking Bad?
Yes. I actually
Okay,
saw Breaking Bad when it was like the thing to
on
watch.
TV. Yeah,
Yeah, proud
yeah.
of myself. Hey, look at me.
That all right. So did you watch? All right, wait, hold up. Did you watch the prequel, Better Call Saul?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you got to go see that because
I
that was
didn't.
good.
But that's
That
what
was
I hear.
good.
It had really good reviews. Some people say it's
It
even
did.
better
It's really
than
good.
Breaking Bad, and I'm like, oh, well,
It is.
that's kind of
I
hard.
wouldn't say it's better, but it definitely complements that guy, the creator. Man, he whatever he creates, I'm gonna watch it because I'm like, damn, this guy's good. This guy's
Mhm.
good because I didn't think he could like when I saw Breaking Bad, I didn't think he could like top Breaking Bad. But
Right,
then when he did this, I was like, damn,
and
damn.
that's kind of what I've been hearing about it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely watch Dexter. Dexter's a
Dexter's the
good one.
list. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I will tell you right now though, a lot of these shows they start off good, they're good for like 4 seasons, and then they kind of fall off. So be prepared with Dexter. It kind of fell off. Like the last season, the way it ended, I was like, ugh. And then they brought it back, and I started watching the revival, and I just got to get back to it, but it was actually pretty good, the revival.
Hmm.
So yeah, no,
I mean, I saw him straight through because Dexter was one of the ones that, same thing. When I heard about it, it was already like kind of far into it. Oh, I pushed the wrong one. So I went back through and I started from season one and I enjoyed it. But again, once I like kind of get involved in the story, I want to see the end. So I won't really leave a series if it kind of starts to fall off.
hmm
But I mean, I was happy with it. I was happy with the ending when they brought back like the newer season, the newer version of it, and yeah, I liked it.
man, I got a big smile on my face because I was just thinking about like you were saying earlier how you don't like getting hooked and binge watching a show, but I'm like I don't know, that's like the greatest feeling. I don't know why, but it's like you'll see a show and you'll pass over so many times, and then when you finally like yo, let me watch this shit, and then it hooks you, and then
Mhm.
before you know it, you know all the characters and you're wondering and you're like oh shit, it's in my head.
Yep.
Like, and then you think about like, how did I see this sooner? I saw all the trailers and I just passed over it. Yeah, Breaking Bad. I actually caught Breaking Bad. I want to say when it was like in its third or fourth season, because I do remember
There's
binge watching like the first or two seasons.
this is definitely bringing up a whole lot of nostalgia for me over here. So he saw Breaking Bad by borrowing some DVDs from some coworkers.
That was for me. That wasn't Breaking Bad. That was two series. I remember borrowing the DVDs for 24
Okay.
and thinking like,
That
"Yo,
was
this
a
is
good
so
show.
sick."
That was a
And
good show.
that was when I like the first season. I was in the Marines, and I had to travel, so I was going, and it was like a long travel, and I was like, yo, I don't know what I'm gonna do like on this plane for like 16 hours or whatever.
Mhm.
And my buddy was like, yeah, borrow this, watch this. And so I started watching it on the plane. Sure enough, after we finished working, I started watching it to the point where they were like, "Yo, are you coming out with us tonight?" He's like, "I was like, no, 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 I'm good." Here I am, the first. Well, no, this is the second time of me going. It was me the second time going to Paris. So I was like, I already did Paris. I was like, nah, I'm good. And so I stayed. The only time I left my hotel room was I would walk down the street, and there was like a little like street like fair,
Hmm.
and not like day. It was like day vendors, but it was like a whole street, and it was almost like a flea market type thing.
Hmm.
And there was a guy there, French guy, who like the only way I could talk to him because I knew English, he knew French. I was like, "Do you know Spanish?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, yeah." So I was like, "All right." That was the only way I could talk to him, and I would get like a bag of like a full on chicken and fries for like $10, and that would be like my whole meal for the day as I was binge watching 24. That's how I finished it.
No, my first DVD series that I borrowed was from you. I borrowed Smallville.
That was
And
a good one.
that was the first time that really introduced me to binge watching. Were those DVDs right
Yeah,
there?
yeah. And then
Oh,
the
it's
other one I binge
crazy.
watched, with through DVDs was Lost. Because somebody put me
Okay.
onto the first season of Lost, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah. I went through all your series, man. I think every time because you were living down in Virginia at the time, and every time I visited, I would take a different series.
hmm
I think I got
hmm
24 from you and Lost as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
Junk said, "I saw The Wire on DVD too. To this day, the best urban." Yes, The Wire is on a low
Mm.
level, bro. Damn, that's twice in a row that we talked about The Wire. I might have to go rewatch that. Once again, HBO, man. HBO. Listen, Junk, you already said Boardwalk Empire. You already said The Wire. We said earlier, House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones. What you said, the one, the Wolves one, Raised by Wolves. Yo, HBO does not fail when it comes to their TV shows, man. And I'm telling you, on that list, Succession, man. Another one, about polygamy. The guy who's like he's a Mormon and he has like 3 wives. It's called Big
Hmm.
Love. That was good too. Because it
Mm.
actually breaks down like you really want this kind of lifestyle? Let's show it to you. The guy had 3 homes side by side. Imagine having to buy 3 houses side by side. So
Yeah,
that way the neighbors wouldn't know that he was polygamous.
that's insane.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 24
24
was
Live.
shit, man.
That was really good.
That show made Kiefer Sutherland, man. Because after that, man, he was an action star. I was like, yo, Jack Bauer.
Yep.
They need to redo that show and like actually be like serious. Don't go like because I think they remade it, but they went all woke and they forgot the magic of 24. So they need to bring it back, new person, and just you know get the magic of it again.
Hmm.
Remember the clock ticket?
Yeah, and
Do,
there's something about that
as they go to
countdown.
commercial break.
It adds like that extra like the extra heightened sense
Yeah,
because you're
and
like
then
fighting a clock. It's like
yeah,
oh
and then they would always. This is how they would always go to a commercial because they would go. Do and then the scenes like you see how it's like two split and like somebody else would be doing something else and then somebody else would be doing something else and then they would fade up and they would go to the third person that's like ha 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 you're not gonna do it in the next 5 minutes and then it would end and then you gotta wait till next week.
now that show with 24, it was actually minute for minute, right? They had it like
They
the
did.
episode was actually the time clock.
Yeah, so it was 24 episodes and each episode was an hour of that day
Okay.
and that would be the whole season.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then it would always end with the clock changing, so it'd
Yes.
be like 10 o'clock. Oh no.
Yeah, Netflix definitely does cancel shows often.
They
They'll
do.
do
They're
like one
notorious.
season and they're just like, ah, no more of this.
But you know what? They also bring back shows. Like they brought back when NBC canceled what was it? Manifest. They brought it
Mhm.
back. So I know people give Netflix heat, but everybody does that. Fox is notorious for that. You know how many shows on Fox that I started watching and they canceled? I remember there was one show where it was like a real life race and like people had to race because it was like $1 million, and it was like, yo, like people were driving on the side of like the road and shit, and like people like cars were crashing, and like they were focusing on this one guy because like he it was flashbacks where his parents did the race, and I guess they won, and so fast forward like, and there was like a whole mystery behind that, and they canceled that shit. I was like, motherfuckers, like they get the Fox is notorious, like Fox canceled oh shit, what's the sci-fi show that everybody loves to this day, and they never brought it back? Not Firefly. Firefly was the movie. Shit, I can't think of the name of it right now. I'm having a brain fart.
I'm not gonna remember it.
Ma's comment. I'm laughing at Ma's comment. I think they could do. I think they could do another 20. I think they could do another 24. I think they could. We still got some kind of bad guys out there. We'll do something. They could do something. They'll do one with Russia. The Russians are the bad guy.
Right.
They could do it. Yeah, that's the one I was laughing at.
Yeah, so our mom started watching The Walking Dead. She only watched like 20 minutes of the first episode. And then
and then I had to go. And so we paused at the part where Rick was stuck in the tank. And so I was like, Mom, go ahead and watch it. It's a good show. And to this day, she will not watch it. I have to go back and watch that, watch the show with her if she wants to get into it.
I think it's more so like the fear factor of like the zombies and stuff. She's just like, hell no.
She does, horror.
I don't want to, even put that thought into my mind of experiencing a world.
Do you remember the time? Do you remember the time? It was for Halloween when I dressed you up in the Freddy outfit, and we scared Ma and your dad. Do you remember that?
I do. I really do. That's like the one memory that I can remember vividly.
Because we did it. Because the way I was able to see it, it was like a crack in the door that I was looking through. So you were actually laying there as
I was laying there. So Rain dresses me up.
Hold up. For context, let's take it back. So for context, every Halloween, my mom would go and take like my stepdad's clothing, stuff it with like pills and shit, and then put like a mask on it, and then put it like outside our apartment door. So when the trick-or-treaters would come, there would be like a stuffed animal guy there, right? And the mask she would always use was Freddy Krueger's mask. Mind you, this is like the late. It was like late 90s. It was the 90s. So they grew up with the whole Freddy Krueger scary element of it, right? Mm-hmm. So go ahead, Lynn. You take over the story.
So Ray puts me in this stuff and he stuffs it, so that's a little more full and stuff. And then he picks me up and he lays me down on the bed next to my dad. And he walks out of the room or whatever.
So I go, first we did it to Mom. And so Lynn, you were like what, 8 years old?
I don't even think I was 8. I was young.
Yeah, she was like, 8, 7 or 8.
Yeah.
So mind you, she's in the costume. I put pillows in the shirt.
I'm petite. I'm wearing the shirt,
and she's like this. So I'm like, I was like, first we did it to our mother, and I was like, Lynn, we're gonna do a gag on Ma. You're gonna have the mask on. I'm gonna throw you on the bed and count to like 20, and then just come up and go after Ma. So I go and I bring it in. I go, look, Ma, I stuffed the thing for you, and then I leave it on the bed. And she's like, why you left this here? I don't want this here. Uh-huh. So then I go and I close the door, and I'm like peeking through the door. So now, see, I never asked you like your point of view of it.
So I really don't remember doing it to Ma. I just remember doing it to my dad, I guess because of his reaction.
Yeah.
But I remember laying there and I was like counting slowly. And then when I finished counting, I was like, no, I need to count some more because I always rush myself. So I did a good job of like waiting. And then like I finally start like moving just like my fingers. Just like a little bit, just like a little like, all right. And out of nowhere, I just like sit up and I'm like,
he was so mad.
My dad jumped up and like he was not a small man.
He ran out
like
the room.
Tall. Like he ran out
the room. And so, mind you, like we first did it to our mom, and like Lynn did it quickly, and Mom got freaked out. And then Mom gave us the idea. She was like, "All right, now you got to do it. You got to do it to Dad when he gets home." So he got so mad, and he got into a heated argument with Ma afterwards because both me and Mom were like peeking through the door. So after I get to Mom, I'm peeking. Now my mother's over here peeking through the door too. That shit was
Oh,
hilarious.
it was so
I
good.
wish this was the time where I wish we had the money and I wish we had the old VHS, because I guarantee that if we would was recording that reaction and just recorded the whole thing, we definitely could have sent that tape to like America's Funniest Home Video and won like the $1 million prize.
Yeah.
Like that's how
Yeah,
hilarious
that
it
was
was,
good.
man.
That was good, good.
He ran out the room. A grown ass
I
man. He
don't
ran out the
blame him.
room. Can you imagine though? Like you just got like a stuffed Freddy Krueger just sitting there on the bed, and he just comes up to life.
It's
Freddy
up. Look
Krueger, yeah, because
out.
then had the claw and everything on her hand, so it was just like, yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. It's like my kids, especially my youngest, my kids and I, we like doing those jump scares to each other.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun. Like, even if we're just like running around in the dark and like we know it's each other, there's something so like it heightens all your senses when somebody's like
Mm-hmm.
behind you, gonna grab you or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, that's definitely something that we do all the time. They're always like hiding in the closets and behind curtains. They're always getting me.
I love watching them when they get each other, because like my youngest will hide somewhere and I know he's there, and so I'll bait his brothers,
Mhm.
and then he'll like
Yeah.
like I'll be the
Okay,
distraction.
can you
Like,
hear
hey,
for
what
a
are you
second?
doing? Yeah, what's going on? Don't do it. Like, ah. Yeah, that's exactly. But listen.
Right.
But listen, you don't understand that. Like today's like Freddie in today's is kind of comical, but back then that was literally like the devil. Freddie was the devil back then, right? That's like when me. That's why when me and Lynn found the talking Mickey Mouse. So when we were just saying earlier about like Teddy Ruxpin, like I didn't have that. I had the talking Mickey Mouse. That's what my mom got me, and we threw him in the closet because we saw Chucky. And
Mhm.
so when we saw Chucky, that was like, no, the demonic doll. So one day we found it, and it made it even worse because we found him, and we're like, what's this? Because mom was like, clean out your closet or something. So me and Lynn would clean it, and we're like, what's this? And so we pulled him because it's like the back of his head. You know, the back of Mickey's head is black. So we're like, what is this? In shadow of the closet. And we pulled it, and as we pulled it over, the nose piece that made him talk was ripped off. So we see all this mechanical shit. We're like, ah! Yeah. Oh man. So yeah. So think about. I don't know. I don't even know like a good horror movie that I could like reference that people are like super scared of,
I don't
and then
know.
having that like that.
It was nighttime. He was laying in bed watching TV, and you just laid me down, and I was just laying there
Yeah.
for a moment, and
You
like
know
I
what that
was
would
really
be?
thinking hard to not move for a while.
You know what that would be? And I think this might be even like too old, but that would be like something like if you're watching TV and somebody fucks with your TV, scrambles it so that it looks like The Ring,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then the chick comes out of it, and you're like, oh my
Oh,
god! Yeah, the girl comes out with the hair. Yo, that's exactly like that's what it would be like. Because I'm telling you, this is like the late '90s, so they know what Freddy's all about.
yep.
Because, like I said, Freddie, I say she's peeing herself laughing. Yo, I'm telling you, man. But that's why I love my mother, because it's like we would get her, and then she would always be like, "All right, get your father." She's like, "Oh, you guys," but she was just as bad as us, though.
Yeah.
And like I was telling my kids, and this we should have done this for Halloween, because I was telling my kids, I was telling like how Ma would go trick or treating with us.
Yeah.
And like Ma would put on, my
The
stepdad's like suit
Frankenstein mask.
jacket and the
Yep.
Frankenstein mask, and she's
Every
short,
year
so
she
she'd
was
be walking around
Frankenstein.
trick or treats because she wanted the candy, right? Until the kids, because it's Halloween trick or treat, so she would hear the kids, the older kids, come around, and then she'd be like, "I'm an adult, don't mess with me." little lady with a big old jacket. I'm an adult. What do you want? Because my mom got that fury, like Hispanic blood in her, man. Lynn hasn't seen her in fights, but I saw her in fights back in the bodegas in the city, man. No bodegas, man. You don't play. Oh man, good times.
Yeah.
Oh, good times, good times. She's peeing herself over here. Got her laughing.
All right, guys. Thank
Wait,
you so
hold
much.
up. So what was it? So your POV was the reaction? You just see it like take off? He didn't
Yeah,
get mad at you.
that
I
was
know because
just,
he
I
was
just
little.
remember, like, I remember laying there. I couldn't see much because I had my mask. I couldn't really turn my head. And so I just remember kind of seeing the inside of the mask. And I remember, like, waiting for a long time and, like, telling myself I had to count a second time because I was doing it too quick. And then they started, like, moving kind of my fingers. And I just, like, got up. And, like, I just remembered him, like, bolting. Like, he jumped up so high. It was just, like, gone. And I mean, like, he had
Oh,
to go around me in order to get out of the room because
that is
like,
true. That is
I was
true.
in between
That
the
is.
two
He was like,
doors.
"Don't touch me! Don't touch me!" Mom did the same thing too, though. And I think Mom was like, "I jump you! I
I don't
jump
think mine left. I think mine just screamed.
you!" Did she?
I don't think mine ran.
I know at some point. Well, I think that was. I think you're right. I think Mom didn't leave. Mom was like, "Oh, jump you! And I think at some point you were like, "Mom, it's me." Because I do remember that. I think you did remember that. Oh, it's
No,
me.
but I think with Ma, I had moved too fast because I'm telling you, when it was with my dad, it was that I was in my mind. I was like, I'm
That's
not gonna
your
do this
point
the
of
same
view. In my point of view, both times, that shit was hilarious. Because Mom was just
way.
like,
Yeah.
and she just started praying. So you know the whole like fight or flight thing
Mhm.
is more of like flight or just stand there and pray for dear God
She
or
froze.
sit there. And,
She
yeah,
froze.
froze. She froze,
Oof.
man. There was no fighting, and I'm glad because it was my little sister in there.
Yeah, mom might have like hit me, like kicked me off the bed, kind of.
No, she was. Oh, oh God, we were
Mhm.
such bad kids. Man, we did a lot of jump scares. We did. Remember at the basement? We always get mom.
In the basement. Oh, like that little like walkway that we had under the
Yeah,
building.
yeah.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
jump scare
I would
mom.
always like run ahead and like hide around the corner.
Uh huh.
Or like if the laundry
Yeah.
room was open, I'd like dip in there.
Mhm. Mhm. Man, we were such bad kids. I just wish we would have recorded. That would have been awesome. I think to this day we still still be man. Not only will we have one like freaking America's Funniest Videos, then fast forward if there was a way that we could have captured and uploaded YouTube, we would have gone viral. It would have been a meme. It would have been a meme, Lynn. You pop it up. Ah, ah, ah. You rewind it, pop it up, rewind it. Oh man, we were bad kids. Oh,
All right,
all
guys.
right.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. Um, yeah, I like that this is where we're ending. You know, we're ending on a positive note. Everyone's laughing, having a great time. And I hope you guys just keep that energy, that same positivity with you throughout the night and throughout the weekend.
Yes, have an amazing weekend
Again,
and
happy
just keep.
Veterans Day.
Oh, thank you, Lynn.
Ray, thank you for your
And
service.
be positive. Take it up to another level. Understand that it is infectious. It really is. People are just out here. You know, we all feel the same way, and they just wanna smile, man. Just go out there and give somebody a smile. Show some love. And drunk fuzz. Thank you so much, mom. Thank you so much for supporting us, commenting, and just showing the love every week as we try to do this thing. This is fun. I love doing this thing. I hope we figure out, how to grow it. That's it.
Mhm. All right,
So,
guys, we love
other
you. We'll see you soon.
peace. See you Tuesday. Is this thing still on? Hit the button, Lynn.